with Big Boy's death. It is now equal numbers. Pressure is on for NA.
Pressure's on, man. 9 kills left for both teams, 41-41, and there's a minute 30 seconds left on the clock. Botch Casper watching the distance. Xeno as well. Going for the pickup here. He's going to get the sniper. It looks like as bait music wrapping around the right side, watching the area of the smoke. They've realized that the sniper's been picked up. Okay, Eternity 2, they're taking the middle approach here so they don't get caught out with the long lines of sight here, but instead get sniped out by Xeno. Beautifully done. That's 1 on the board, but Eternity returns with 2 more. It's 43-43. Copies. Close quarters. Big Brain Poppy goes down, and Eternity 2 in the lead again with a minute left on the clock.
Ooh, Copies is kind of on fire, but Vape Music gonna try to do the exact same really good movement from the side of Eternity 2, but Xborg NA, if they can just hang on by just a bit here, they can still do some magic, but unfortunately they cannot. And that's gonna be a full respawn. Big Brain Poppy with a jumping sniper as well. Everything
Essential.
could go in the way of Xborg NA. They have the special weapons, they have the jump-ins as 3 players, but where is Eternity looking? They're not looking behind.
Not looking behind, and Xeno is going to be able to pick up 46. It's a tied game, ladies and gentlemen. 20 seconds left on the board. Will Xborg secure the grand finals with Eternity? Take us to a game 5. Xborg, Big Brain Poppy with the sniper, finds 47. Xeno finds 48. There's 10 seconds left on the clock.
One has to run.
With a 2-point lead, they've got to stay alive at this point. Eternity finds 47. It's a 2-point game now. Xborg, they find 49. They find 50. Xborg NA
hits him with the GG easy too.
Hits him with the easy, brother. They're your first
Xeno villain arc.
A villain arc for real, man. What a close game. Welcome welcome all to the Extreme Championship Series powered by Brave, organized by Xborg. I'm Jim Basco, and joining me as always is Sneaky. Sneaky, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm pretty much chilling, ready and waiting for some more EV.io. It's been a month, man, so it's been quite the long wait for me personally. So yeah. I would say I am now pretty hyped to get into this one, especially, you know. I think a lot more players are definitely going to be playing EV.io thanks to a certain sponsor who's actually right below me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about it, right? Brave being the main sponsor of the event. Shout outs to them. The game runs flawlessly on the Brave browser. Both Sneak and I were just playing it right before we hopped into this, and we've got to say it's come a long way. The game is at its best place it's ever been at, and the competition hopefully today will show exactly that, Sneaky. So Brave, shout outs to them for putting on this entire event. Of course, teams today playing for $4,000 for a cumulative $20,000 overall for EV.io. Of course, you want to shout out Xborg as well, and Community Gaming as the official tournament platform for this entire event, Sneaky. So a awesome day of EV.io action just around the corner. Where are we gonna start, man?
Yeah, I think we might start into this first game, which I think I did hear from our director. It is Eternity, team that has been slowly ramping up as EV.io's existence does go through, you know, its usual life. And I think, yeah, we're gonna see the brackets right here. And there it is, Team as well. Oh my god, that's actually a really good opponent here for Eternity. It's kind of like a tester of how strong Eternity really is. Because Team, man, they, you know, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is either Fawn's team or this is, yeah, one of the NA teams. That's for sure. They like to be very creative with their names, man.
Yeah, very creative with their names. But that is the match that we're going to be following for the first part of this tournament. Team versus Eternity EU. And of course, if you are unfamiliar with what's happening here, the Extreme Championship Series is a set of events across a variety of different games in Web3. Today, we're focusing on EV.io. This is one of many qualifiers, each of them happening for $4,000 a pop. The top 16 from each of these events will qualify for the championship weekend. And in that weekend, they'll be playing for a total of $8,000. And overall, that comes out to $20K for EV.io, and that's just for EV alone, Sneaky. There's so many other titles, so make sure if you're interested, head on over to Community Gaming and go find out some more. Go find out what games are being played. But EV.io, Sneaky, it's where you want to be. It's the FPS action. It's the latest and greatest stuff. Sneaky, I can't believe how far the game has come.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is the best competitive in the entire blockchain. So I would say EV.io being in a really good place. Also, a lot of sponsors coming in, a lot of attention. So I would say the game is in a really good spot. So I'm really excited to go into this game number 1 already. I think everyone knows it is gonna be either Rook or Fractal, depends on what type of mood that we are seeing today. Either we go pink or we go the usual dull brown, or not Rook, rather pawn. So yeah, gonna be open seas, or open
Yes.
everything for everyone. It's gonna be an aim battle to start everything off in this one, unless the teams do pick something else. I do see a lot more teams pick more of the cover heavy maps, especially against better teams here, because they can just get a bit of a lead and try to dip as much as possible, which is really hard in EV because the movement one person can literally
It's
chase you
sticky,
down
man.
from the other side of the map.
Exactly.
It's sticky.
Sticky in the sense that it's so fluid that it's hard to get away. And like you're saying, those better players will absolutely wreck you out in the open. But, we're in a different meta now, right? The sniper is no longer a one-shot body shot. Overall, it seems like they're trying to do more to allow counterplay into the game. And I think right now it's in a great spot with the movement abilities. And like you're talking about, a little bit of this tech coming out from the Asian scene, right? You want to maybe mention that, and then we can keep our eyes out for it, throughout the day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we had this conversation earlier, right, when I was talking about the Asian hate spam, because that's been kind of around for a while. It's just that I don't think many of the Asian teams really go for it anymore, to say the least. So, yeah, I think it is more of an aim battle now, as of right now, and it is Eternity EU's team, and it's going to be a very interesting one as we do start in Dragon Temple.
We are in the Dragon Temple, like you mentioned, a 3-man hit squad out onto the left side. Team in the red with Eternity EU in the green, now chasing towards the back of the site. Like you're mentioning, man, the aim battles are so good on this map. Rocking the NIP skin on that rifle, you always love to see it.
The best machine gun skin, honestly.
It really is. It's so cracked, dude. I love it. And if people aren't familiar, Sneaky, how do skins work in this game? What do they get you? Why would you want to use one?
Yeah, I mean, you do have additional earn rate for the in-game currency, which is called E. Then you can exchange it for some real cash via, the usual crypto. You can convert it and put it in your Phantom, Fractal, or whatever wallet that you use that is available and compatible for this game. So, guys, if you are interested in EV and you want to look cool and earn more doing it, get yourself some really nice skins over at the marketplaces.
Yeah, and I can't iterate. Well, let's talk about it real quick first. Eternity, they were in the loss here. They were 1-3 down at the beginning of this match. Eternity flipping on its head, 12-5 now. They just busted open, dude. But I gotta say, if you were looking ever to get into EVIO, this is the time, man. Playing it on Brave, it's a free downloadable browser. Emphasis on privacy and security. This game runs flawlessly. 240 FPS locked for me. You can change and adjust your FOV. You can set up a custom crosshair. Like Sneaky was mentioning, you can set up a skin, your whatever, or rather you can purchase skins and use them to earn more in the game. So there's a lot of incentive to get involved now. And there's a ton of tournaments just around the corner. Eternity EU locked in at 15-10. Team definitely fighting back now, Sneaky.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're Eternity right now, you should try to build this lead as much as possible, because this team on the other side, team, especially with Seer on it, one of the more clutch players in the scene, can really just pull out a massive comeback from their sake. Flowy as well has been around for a while, and yeah, I would say with these two at the helm, they could definitely make a comeback happen. But Eternity EU, after that initial fight near the teleporter, they just got away with the lead. But look at this, they're just building it back.
Yeah, that was a, really confident move to try and go for the TP knife. Obviously does not work out there for him, and Eternity EU taking the fight to the bottom part of the map now with the pickup on the SMG, trying to take a close quarter fight, but loses sight of the opponent. These smokes, a really good job, obviously, of breaking the lines of sight, giving you an opportunity to move around the map, get to some safety, and while Eternity EU did have a pretty huge lead, at some point in this map, it's now just a 5-point lead. So definitely doable for Team here.
Yeah, I mean, all the fights that Team is taking at the moment is really just them not dying as much as earlier, and now they're using the smokes to try and recover some HP, trying to recover some space from their side. But Flowy's going to be a victim of a deagle here. Now the push is going to come in, but Eternity EU, they're starting to get some kills as well. Team, they need to get a lot of these clean fights from their sake. Maybe, you know, some 3-0s, maybe even some 2-1s, just to try to dwindle the lead a bit.
Yeah, just to work on something here. Team, they were, like you said, playing a little bit more methodically, and they were working their way up the scoreboard. Now things have slowed down a lot more. Getting a good sightline across the map. Really nicely done. Picks up one there. Eternity just really excelling at picking apart Team. That was a great team fight there. You could see all the members of Eternity.
Jesus.
Close quarters combat, man. You love to see it. The tracking on point. Trying to hit the snipe there. Can't do it midair and through the TP and out of there.
Yeah, that's why you gotta bind the TPs, man, because you have no idea if another player from the other side is just gonna come out of that at knock 5 and just fly at you. And yeah, you just gotta expect it.
It is so tough, you know, but once you get into that flow state, man, like a lot of these players are currently in, you just make it look so easy. Eternity, watching them work right now, man, watching them really dismantle Team after what looked like a pretty good comeback. They were really clawing their way back up the ladder, but Eternity kind of stomps on their fingers and kicks them back off. 34-21 with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. Eternity definitely hunting them down. They look confident, Sneaky.
Yeah, this is one of the maps that could really hurt one of the better teams actually in this tournament, and I think Team is a victim of it. But I think Eternity EU, their experience within this map really is shining through in this one, because after Team attempted a comeback and all of their fights were pretty clean to say the least, they have finally just fixed their medal. They kind of did the exact same, but at the same time they're kind of just running around the map unpredictably, knowing that they have this big of a lead, and even got a knife kill, or a sword kill rather. So I think their confidence is pretty high right now in Eternity EU. Team, I think they should start thinking about the next map, because I think this one, I'm not saying it's a lost cause, but it might be.
But it might be. Yeah, if we're playing a 50-man, there's 6 points left, and there's 2 minutes and 25 left on the clock. Like Eternity almost doubling Team's score at this point. You know what I mean? They're just looking good, and like you're talking about, the momentum was definitely on Team's side at the beginning of things, but Eternity were like, wait, hold on, let's regroup real quick, and then boom, shift of momentum entirely in. And the steamrolling has not stopped since that first break away from Eternity. Just really such a good job. They're looking so dominant here. 47, 48, 49. Only one more left before they lock down this first game here. So really good stuff, Sneaky. Eternity looking really confident here.
Yep, and I think for Team, they're going to start thinking about the next map here on what they're going to pick. I think if they did have a choice, they might go into, you know, maybe something like Pawn, where there's not much cover and they could just go for straight up fights, because I think when it comes to that, they can have the advantage. But at the same time, in that game, Lukin and Copies, the entire time, they were just actually, you know, wrecking everyone, rolling over everyone as that 2-man squad, while the one person is trying to get the flank, maybe trying to get some nades from the backside. So I would say, you know, those two can really be a dangerous duo that you have to worry about if you are on Team.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys were just cooking left and right. And I think if you're thinking about momentum, right, because these guys can all aim. We know many of these players. The score line does not tell the whole story, right? As long as one team gets momentum, it's very easy to run away with it. So, you know, maybe it'll be the other team on this time around. It is a best of 3, and of course the grand finals will be a best of 5 at the end of the day. So maybe we'll head to game 3, maybe we won't, Sneaky, but that first one was definitely tough to watch. EU team, though, looking like they're on fire right now.
Yeah, I mean, Eternity basically was just teamwork all over the place for them, and even Barrel chipping in with some of these finishing kills. I think overall they just played the map really well, using their numbers back into their side. They're not getting caught as much as Team, because Team, I think, there are some times where they're already on low HP and they are within the smoke, but they're in a really bad position, just like how we saw when they were stuck in the underside of the map and they had no choice but to just duke it out with Eternity, who had full HP in that rotation. So I would say, yeah, I mean, we just need to see a lot more cleaner fights from the side of Team, and maybe the next map can definitely help them with it.
Yeah, maybe it can help them. And, you know, something that I saw early from Team that you were mentioning is fighting for those weapons. Those power-ups are going to be the most important things. If you could start getting streaky with a couple deagle shots, you know what I mean, and with a couple of sniper headshots, whatever it may be, whatever tickles your fancy. There's a lot of options in EV.io, and so I want to see them use them. Let's start playing around those more, like you're mentioning, and start seeing some strategy. So hopefully the second game goes better for them. But Team definitely have a mountain to climb up, because if we're talking about mental, right, and if the momentum already ran away from them in that first game, how hard is it, Sneaky? You know, as a competitor yourself, right? How hard is it to regroup after a loss like that in the first map? What do they got to do to bring it back now?
You gotta have some mad copium after losing that lead, that's for sure. Like, guys, don't worry. First game, you know, we kind of through. So I would say we just go second and third map and just try to go from there. But I think, yeah, I mean, Dragon Temple, it's quite the decider map, that's for sure, if you are gonna pick it within your veto. So I would say Pawn could be a very different story for the homies over at the other side on Team. But at the same time, I think I don't think Rook would be a bad option for them, considering I think I've seen Team a couple of times play the kind of push-pull playstyle that we do see from time to time here in EV.io. So I would say, yeah, next map could look really different, considering Eternity EU. I think their main map could be Dragon Temple, honestly, because I have not seen a team in a while really maximize the map itself, just like how they did.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's something that is really interesting that you mentioned, because EVIO does a really good job of incorporating so many elements from different games that you get strategies like the push-pull, like it resembles something like the death ball from Overwatch, you know what I mean? People working together.
No, it's momentum.
Right.
They want to just go huge.
Exactly. You want to go in, get huge, stick together, and keep rolling with that momentum, you know what I mean? And so sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. Yeah, Eternity, though, it looks like their momentum is still strong here. They are just moving with confidence and going in with the shotgun close range. He's gonna connect with two. You love to see it. And light teabag as Eternity take the lead here.
Yeah, I love that. You know, you gotta see that from EV from time to time. I mean, we did see that from Xeno last week when he typed GG Easy as he was winning in that last tournament. So I would say that the disrespect, it could be here. We could see some words flying in the chat. Hopefully nothing too offensive for the both sides. You know, keep it clean, but you know, keep it how would you say this? Keep the morale low for the other team if you ever are gonna do it. But oh my god, okay, Seer.
It's going back and forth, man. Like, the frags are coming out from both teams, and it looks like the little bit of trash talking that's coming out, although not serious, it's all in good form, is firing up Team. Exactly. Yeah, I'm waiting for them to say something in chat, but I hope that they don't. Oh, that was a sick shot from Lukin. Mid-air with the eagle. Beautifully done.
Damn. There it is. They're just gonna keep going in. Lukin just gonna keep the streak going. What's important is he does have the deagle as much as possible here to get that one-shot threat definitely on his end. But are we gonna see that? Yeah, I think we guys are gonna hear the team comms here between the both sides, and we're gonna listen in.
One dead.
Oh, whoa.
Yo, let's chill out. We're kind of pugging this, like. One longer towards TP.
Nate TP, still TP.
You wanna push them?
I
There's a special on mid, I'm getting
Okay, I'm coming to you, wait.
I'm gonna peek. I'm peeking.
In smoke. Next TP.
Okay, did anyone? One dead.
One more on top.
Dead.
Nice.
They're big ram now.
TP.
Low, we dead.
Nice. On ramp. On big ramp. One slow, one's 1 HP.
I saw.
I'm pushing in. You're dead. Two more there.
Oh my god, I don't have bullets, man. I'm so retarded.
In smoke.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to kill him.
One mid behind me.
Oh, okay, he's healing. One low. One more on...
All right. Yeah, I mean,
that guy was right, man. I think Eternity is just pugging it out in this one, and they're playing like it is just like, you know, a normal deathmatch earn game. But you could say the same against Team as well, honestly, because they're kind of playing separated. They're just playing these isolated 1v1s, as I think Momentum is the perfect map for it, considering you can just separate all three members and just make it isolated 1v1s, and it seems like it's working out for Team because they're keeping it close with Eternity.
They're keeping it close, yeah, and I think exactly right. They're bugging it out. Their comms also give you the indicator that they're not really coming up with strategies on the fly. They're really just going as they can. And I think, like you mentioned, Team is doing such a good job at keeping the pressure up that it's really hard for Eternity to even get a moment to be able to make a plan. They are constantly reacting to what's happening, constantly trying to figure out what's going to come next. So Team really cooking here as Eternity take a 4-point lead with 4 minutes left on the clock, Sneaky. This game could go either way.
Oh, no. But there it is. The shotgun, the bane of the existence of most pro players in EV.io, just hits him with a 140 bang to the body. And yeah, as long as he can keep it in his pocket, that shotgun, they get to really make a lead happen because of barrel. And I mean, you could kind of see it right now. It's 33-26 as a single shotgun really just turned the tides.
Devastating, right? We're talking about power-ups. We talk about how important it is to play around them. And Eternity finally realized, they finally came up with a plan. Let's get it in the hands of Barrel and let's ship him around the map. This is what's going to take us and get us that lead here. So beautifully done. Yeah, 36-27. Running around with the lead. Smoke effective in buying them time. Wraps around the corner. Sirev. Oh, he's going to go down and copy. He's beautifully done. Good hunt there.
I really feel like Team should just go maybe the Eternity strat of just going 2-1 and just have one go for the wraparound, then Flowy and Seer should just fight the front line as much as possible, but it's so hard because Copies with the sniper, just so crispy with it.
So crispy with it, and Eternity tried doing Team rather tried hiding around that smoke, but they were just not keen enough. Copies better on the shot, better in the range with Lucan to help him out. Eternity are finally cooking here. This is the Eternity that we saw in the first map, and they are in their final form here. 43-30, a very dominant lead over Team.
Yeah, I mean, for Team right now, they just gotta play it like they're 1v3 in Apex Legends. Like, you just gotta back up, kill, back up, kill, back up, kill, because you cannot afford any of these deaths, but it's so hard because the SMGs are just doing so much damage here for Barrel, and I think it might just be GG. It is a tough call, to say the least, here for Team because you only have 4 kills to work with, not much leeway, and that might be over as soon as the last kill does come around after this one.
Let's see how it ends up here. Camping the TP is always a good strategy. Denying a lot of movement on the map, but with 1 frag remaining, they're looking to find it. As Copies shuts it down. Yeah, they get 2 over the limit at 51. If there's any way to send a message, that is one way to do it, man. Eternity making easy work out of Team in the first round here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually pretty... I wouldn't say I was surprised, but at the same time, Eternity, just like I said, they have been ramping up for the past few EV tournaments, and they have just been getting better and better and better. And I think this might be evidence of it. Now they can beat teams like Team with vets like Flowy and vets like Seer on the team. So I would say Eternity EU in a really good place as they do move on here to our semis.
Impressive stuff, but that's just the first quarterfinal of the day. Of course, we have an entire bracket worth of action happening, and of course, all the teams today playing for a total of $4,000 and $20,000 over the course of the entire EV.io season. The Extreme Championship Series is brought to you by Brave, powered by Xborg, and organized by Community Gaming. So shout outs to all the sponsors making this possible and to all the players playing today. Team is unfortunately eliminated from our bracket. It is a single elim bracket, so we will be seeing more of them hopefully at the next qualifier, but meaning Eternity moves on, man, to our first semifinal of the day. And just a reminder, the top 16 competitors from all these qualifiers will be qualifying for championship weekend, where these teams play for $8,000. So there's a lot on the line, and if you're looking to get involved, Sneaky, how can they do that?
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is, if I am not mistaken, I do not have the spiel pulled up right now, accidentally. But there it is. I think we're going to take a look at the bracket as I'm trying to find this one. And, damn. Man, I'm still pretty surprised that Seer and Flo did not perform today, not gonna lie. I think that's still in my head right now. That's why I am pretty confused right now. Apologies, Jim. But
no, I mean,
yeah,
it's a true thing. Like, you know, we got to listen into Eternity's comms, and in a weird way, I almost wish we could listen to Team's comms, because, like you're mentioning, you have amazing players that have experience in competition, just not rising up to the occasion. So what do you think, Sneaky, if you had to speculate? Obviously, you weren't playing on the team, but if you had to speculate, what do you think may have gone wrong?
Yeah, I think Eternity EU, to be honest, they just got the they really just got the early lead in this situation, especially in Dragon Temple. That first fight that they just got away with, I think really just boosted their confidence to the max, and they're like, yeah, we can fight team, no problem here. So I would say,
Yeah.
once again, really nice job from the side of Eternity. Hopefully we do see team in the next one, because I don't think I can imagine a playoffs as big as XCS, right, without that roster in this one. So I'm looking forward to them going into the next qualifier. And yeah, I would say, yeah, once again, guys, if you do want to join the Extreme Championship Series, make sure to check out Community Gaming, of course. And as soon as you go to the site, just type in ev.io in the filters, and you are going to see the qualifiers itself. And you can join and even maybe meet some of the ev.io greats within the bracket. Hopefully, someone new within the scene can maybe beat some of these really good players.
Yeah, I think that there is a lot of talent in the FPS scene, and EV.io does a great job of combining many elements of many different games into one and making it a competitive, free-to-play environment. So, with that said, we're going to take a short break while we get the other games queued up for you all. Till then, don't go anywhere. Maybe grab a quick snack, but we'll be right back with more EV.io action right after this.
Plus his leaders ability.
Yeah, I think so. Might get big.
So that would be massive. And so it's a mirror of Buffield and mirror of Brinroad and Amrock on exactly the same grade, but one is nature, the other one is air. Widow has the upper hand on the other one.
Well, I mean, Orso might have a little bit because he's playing the air versus he's the counter element, so we'll see if he can capitalize on it.
Will it be enough? Lolomi is first this time, so we know he likes to be second, but he probably has a good strategy for being first too.
Yep.
Both lining.
So it's interesting that he drops that one here because obviously, well, okay, yeah, it's hard to take it back with the nature, so that seems unlikely.
Poof. So the affix, like, Wolves wanted to play the Earth and the Dark, but the oh no, he just played the.
Yeah, I'm not because he wanted to play it so he could actually take.
Yeah, he
so
wanted to retake
play
the
his
nature.
Earth, but then it got too big.
Yep. So first kind of a quick play that we see here. Yeah, oopsies. Lolomi just going for it, controlling the full board and the Trinity.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, it's still kind of laying some groundwork for Urso. So this turn, no, yeah, he has to throw a big card, but like if he plays his leader in B3, then it doesn't create any affinity. He really wants to keep his leader probably.
We had a dream 5 years ago, and look what happened.
Raised $52 million from 24,000 individuals from the four corners of the world. Launch the first crypto app to educate the world. Released the Xborg app, serving 700,000 community members. The CHSB token hits unicorn status with $1.4 billion market cap. Swissborg ranks top 5 DeFi players in the world. All of this thanks to you, the best community in the world.
If you want to take part in the next 5 years, hop on.
Any Canopic Hoarder 2 Rock Drake eggs gives him 12. Okay, no, the protected on the god is gonna keep him. So he just wants to get that protected off.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it boils
So
down
how
to.
does
But
he?
unfortunately, his hand is terrible to get rid of it.
Yeah. And the fact that it has ward as well.
Okay, so he dumped Sulfuric Rain. Okay, I think that's a good move. I think that's actually a good move, and an end turn, I like that. I like that actually.
Okay, Blade comes out. It's not gonna do anything.
I think you gotta. I think you gotta throw that hatchling.
Really?
Oh, you
just to put him even
just-
closer?
Yeah.
So the other Canopic, are they going for it here? No, right? Because they have to get the protected off. So
Double over the line here might be it. I'm not sure. That's 14.
they're going for it. CK, they're going for it. Anti looking for the lethal here. They've got 2 over the line.
Welcome back to the Extreme Championship Series, powered by Brave, organized by Xborg, and brought to you and organized by Community Gaming. My name is Jim Basco, and of course, joining me as always is Sneaky Frog. We just had our first quarterfinal of the day. Sneaky, for those who weren't here, give us the quick synopsis and where that leaves us for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of I wouldn't say it's a stomp, but then it was close at one time, and then it became sort of a stomp at one point in the Eternity EU versus Team game. Of course, unfortunately, our boys Floey and Seer are not going to be seen in the semifinals. Instead, it is the Eternity EU with the come up copies, and the boys really making a name for themselves in the XCS. And now, next up, we are going to see Eternity EU once again. Guys, the games in EV.io are very fast that we are already in our semis on the left side of the bracket. And that needs hotheads. They did beat the earlier team called Luzera, if I'm not mistaken. That is either a EU team or a MENA team. Or, to make it easier for myself, an EMEA team. So,
True, right.
Yeah, I would say Eternity EU, fair shot for them at the moment, but hotheads, they're not to be underestimated at all.
Not to be underestimated at all. They made it to the semifinals, and of course, we know we got some aimers in here. We got some veterans of the EV.io scene. So, like you mentioned, the games are quick. It's a best of 3 all the way up until the grand finals, where it'll be a best of 5. And if you're looking to get into this scene, it is really easy. All you have to do is navigate to EV.io on your browser, and if you're looking for a browser that can run it really, really well, head on over to the Brave browser. Right now, they sponsored the prize pools for this entire tournament. They've also incorporated a 50% more of a payout, per frag that you get in EV.io, plus 10% more if you actually use the Brave browser. So from now until December, rather from June until December, you have an opportunity to make a lot of on EV.io and really make a name for yourself and start competing in these tournaments, Sneaky. There's a lot on the line, and it's free to enter, free to get into, so there's no reason not to.
Might as well get in there, definitely, and get your hand or get a shot at maybe a hand at the prize pool. But a lot of these teams are really hungry for it. I think hotheads. I think the last time I saw, if I'm not mistaken, this is Butterflix, Sur, and the boys. I think Sur really did a nice performance in one of the bigger EV.io tournaments in the year, so I would expect him to perform really well. Butterflex and G Lidl, of course, has been playing EV for a while, so they definitely know their stuff. They have been entering the EV.io tournament since way back when I was still first casting this game. So I would say a lot of these teams, a bit weak at the start, but then they started to ramp up. They started to figure the game out, and now they're starting to come for the vets in the scene.
Yeah, you love to see it, man. Those storylines are really the best. Who is the dark horse of the tournament? Who are the newcomers? Who are the championships of EVIO past? And with that said, we are heading into the semifinal. The first one of the day, it's between Eternity EU in the green and Hotheads in the red, with Eternity starting off with a quick 3-0. We talk about momentum sneaky. We talk about Eternity EU, and they're starting off strong on this map.
Yeah, I mean, Butterflix and the boys need to at least get equal fights as much as possible here if they don't want to lose their lead. I mean, you could still give Eternity EU at least 2 points here because this is only the start of the game, but yeah, you need stuff like that. And what you've seen from Sur, you could just isolate one of the members here and try to just get away and maybe get back to your team. But in turn to EU, I think the earlier strat that we did see from them, we are seeing it once again. It's just 2 people going in head-on to the enemy team while 1 person is trying to come from behind. But now it's just going to be pure teamwork coming in from Eternity there to getting all the fights here. Look at Copies going huge.
Going huge, getting the shots from down under. He is the point man for the team. Pretty much always in a weird spot, but always getting the frags. Now regroups as 2 members of his team goes right. He's going straight down the middle of the map, finds one right there. Eternity at 11. Hothead still struggling at 3.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, you can tell that this is an Eternity EU map. They have been really practicing this one because all of their rotations are just super clean. Hotheads, you know, getting stuck in the underside of the map almost twice now in this situation, so they're just commanding space really, really well as of the moment. And Eternity EU, I mean, they are just dominant in this one. I mean, they're looking really nice in today's games, and they have not calmed down at all.
Not calmed down at all. I love that frenetic pace out of them, man. And when you talk about arena shooters, oh no, this guy is going for the madness. All right, let's listen in real quick with the teams.
It's me. I killed one. I killed 2. Let's go. Easy. Griddle, you're going crazy, man. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I picked into 2 people instead, right?
Me and
Go, shooter. Easy for you.
easy, bro. Behind.
That was lag, man. Vara, what the fuck? We're aim train. Yes. Praise gaming. I just picked into 3 people. Shooter,
God.
you can do it, man. Have to believe in yourself.
Oh, bro, I don't have bullets, brother.
I got it like 90 through the smoke.
Damn, that's the most EU comms I've ever heard. That's for sure. Even
That was the
soundboard
best.
included.
Oh, that was the best listening in my life. You can tell Eternity are just hanging out.
Just
They're having a
vibing.
good time.
Just vibing.
Yeah. And I think that's key too. If you can play at such a high level and just be vibing, boom, you're gonna win. You know what I mean? These guys, ice in their veins. They're just having a good time. You love to see it. Hotheads, they're not too far behind. Like, yes, 14 frags is a lot. I've seen crazier things happen, but Eternity, dude, what? That was hilarious, man.
Yeah, definitely. You know, even using the soundboard, recent Discord edition, actually. So,
It is?
definitely just having fun. Yeah, you have a soundboard now within Discord.
In
Don't
Discord,
use it,
built
though.
in?
Yeah.
Oh, bro,
So
it's
guys, it's over. Anyone who bought Discord Nitro, it's over. They have
over.
the power now. But 40-22 though, it turned to EU. I think they're just gonna sweep up this game. You know.
Yeah.
And, just finish it out.
They're doing such a good job, and you can tell they're just their comms are cool and collected. Even if they are getting run down by someone behind, they're just hanging out. They trust each other's aims.
He gets it.
Oh, yeah. You hate to see it, but you love to be the one that gets it. You know what I mean? What a good feeling. 45-26. 3 more frags for Eternity so they can lock in game 1 of the semifinals. Just a reminder, it is a best of 3 till we hit the grands, where it'll be a best of 5. Eternity cooking right now. They're looking confident and good, man. Not much more you could ask for from Eternity, but I guess they're thinking about the next match at this point, because through semis, they're going to grands, bro.
I think they're thinking about the main tournament already. That's for sure. Right now,
definitely.
Like, guys, I think Dragon Temple might be our map, and they could definitely be right. I think Eternity EU, they might have like a trump card on their sleeve at the moment, because you know, from what I've seen from Xborg EU, the first team that actually won last month, they do have a bit of a weakness in the in some of these maps, like Dragon Temple, like those Rook maps where, you know, cover is definitely a plenty. So maybe they have an ace up their sleeve once they go up against one of the you know, better teams here in EV. But at the moment, Hotheads could not hold on to the onslaught that Eternity did pull in Dragon Temple at the moment.
Yeah, they just have such a good flow, right? They split up 2 of their players, they're wrapping around the map, and they have one always flanking down the mid, meeting them wherever they need to keep the pressure on. So just a really good flow from Eternity, and if they can keep that up on other maps too, like they have been, Hotheads are in for a mountain of a battle, to say the least. But we are in our semifinals. That was just game 1 out of a best of 3. After this, we'll be going into our grand finals, into a best of 5 situation. So there's still a lot of action just around the corner. All these teams playing for their share of $4,000, for $20,000 over the entire Extreme Championship Series, Sneaky. So like we're saying, a lot on the line, and I'm hoping we see some of these teams come back for the next qualifier, because there's some great players, and I just you know, is Eternity that much better? Or is it just an off day, you know? Who knows at this point, but momentum definitely on Eternity side, dude.
Yeah, I'm actually taking a look at the brackets that we have in community gaming, and just seeing the teams that Eternity EU actually beat. They're basically on fire going into this one, so I think momentum definitely on their side, that's for sure. But yeah, they just got to keep their heads up at this point, make sure that they do not get too complacent, because, you know, these teams, they can still ramp up at any time. You know, Sur and Butterflix, of course, not to be underestimated in this next map, which is going to be Momentum. I do have the map vetoes right. Trackville is going to be our 3rd map instead. Going to be interesting if you do go into map number 3, because that's just going to be a pure aim diff. That could win you the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to see this close quarter fight already favoring that Hotheads. And with those smokes in play, will this be the change of pace that the Hotheads need to finally sit down Eternity? Eternity hot on a streak right now. They have rocketed up through the quarters and are into the semis now, and are firing back onto Hotheads, finding number 2, and definitely a much slower game here. Much more measured, and it's going back and forth, tied up now. Eternity with the shotgun close range. Lucan leading the way for his team, and they're looking for number 5. And it looks like the Hotheads will maintain the lead, but it's going to go back and forth, Sneaky. This looks much tighter.
Yeah, I mean, Lucan has been such a problem here for the side of Hotheads. He has just been sliding in and getting those 1v2s as much as possible, and he did exactly this in the last game as well, so I don't think he's a stranger to these situations, but I think a person that could really counter this strategy is Sur. He is also a very insane aimer, as we do see on our screen, and Hotheads, they do have the lead.
Doing a good job of keeping the pace of the map in their favor, but as I say that, the Hotheads kind of get caught lacking in the middle of nowhere. Eternity double, triple peak that, and they find 3 in a row to take back the lead. Eternity, we talk about momentum. This is the start of potentially the end for the Hotheads. It's wrapping around the corner now. Eternity trying to keep the pressure up. Eternity are in the green. The Hotheads are in the red, and a beautiful tracking battle from Butterflix finds number 10 for the Hotheads, but Eternity still keep the lead here, Sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, they're keeping it really equal as of the moment. Hotheads, I think they're are gonna look for a late finish in this game, maybe through time, or maybe in those 48, around those 49 scores, and maybe they're gonna try to go for an instant 3v3 jump. But at the moment, Eternity, they're just, you know, slowly building their kill lead as much as possible, which is really hard, because Hotheads, they just want to keep fighting.
Just want to keep fighting, and they're keeping the pressure up. Copies from below. Lucan from the sky. Eternity coordinating, man. That's another 3 in the row for them, and they are busting the round open as Sure finds himself in between a rock and a hard place, tries to hit the TP, but Lucan, keen to the strat. Eternity still keeping the lead here and expanding it ever so surely. As Sure finally fires back, copies, gets the trade, and Eternity are still looking good here.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Hotheads at the moment, they should really pick their fights a bit better here, because I've seen from time and time again, one person just gets caught out by two people. So really, they should have as much information as soon as they turn the corner. But at the moment, they're just fighting because they know that they have the power-ups. SMG here on G Lidl, but he does get knifed. What?
Wow. Lucan with the close range fight comes out on top. Butterflicks down onto Barrel. 2 in a row. Returned by Copies. Hotheads closing the gap. Just 5 points separating these two squads. And with 4 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock, ladies and gents, anything is still possible here. Eternity definitely having a harder time on this map, as the Hotheads are doing a really good job using these smokes and isolating these fights out. Still a 5-point diff. Frags going both ways.
Ooh, Barrel.
Eternity close range with the snipe, man. It just doesn't matter for him.
Yeah, as soon as he gets those headshots, and as soon as that happens, he misses the long shot as well. Very nice. Love snipers in this game, by the way, but especially with the new damage, you gotta hit those. You gotta hit those headshots, or you're basically dead. And Butterflicks with a good slide, 28 and 23. Hothead still definitely in the game, but Lucan is making it really difficult. Look at this flank by this man.
Yeah, you really got to hit those shots now. It is important to hit those headies. Butterflicks, Barrel, Lucan, Sure, a long team fight here down the corridor, and still just 5 frags separating both squads. Great shot with the Deagle and a finish with the MG there. Beautifully done, and Copies right as QL drops into the smoke, picks him up, and now wraps around the back, finds Sure, and it looking good, man.
Yeah, but Copies has been practicing with that Deagle, and you can definitely tell. And 34 and 29, a big lead because of these power weapons. They really, Eternity does a really good job of just maximizing them. You can see as soon as one person has a shotgun or a Deagle, they just literally go in, jump into the enemy team, and there it is. 34 and 30, still a 4-kill lead. And Eternity, they're just looking to collect more, but Hotheads, they're not that far behind, honestly. 5 kills, that's like a fight and a half.
That's a fight and a half, exactly. They have done a fantastic job of not letting this match get out of their hands. 32 to 36, that's just 4 separating the two squads. Gets down to 3 for just a moment, but with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock, 13, that 12 frags separating Eternity from a grand finals placement here. Anything's still possible, man. Just 4 frags separating these two squads. Hotheads definitely slowing it down a bunch here. Peeking together, Butterflicks and G Lidl rather, around the back now. Finds himself suddenly facing 3 members of Eternity. That's a situation you never want to be in, Sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, my experience from fighting Sur, man, you really don't want to fight this guy from distance, because somehow he is just so good in those situations, and you really want to keep those fights close as much as possible if you're Eternity, because Sur really is just going to beam you from that far. But Hotheads, this is what I'm saying, the lead is not that big, and they can start to wrap up anytime.
Good nade follow-up there from Copies. Locks down number 2 in a row for him. Keeps it at 5, separating the two squads. Copies is on fire right now, 23 and 13. This man is cooking with the impulse under him. Closes the distance, gets behind the enemy team, and beautiful team play there from Eternity, man.
Yeah, I think if Eternity just plays their side of the map, they could just end this one, not gonna lie. But Hotheads still looking for something.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
still
clean.
They're cooking. They're cooking.
One more clean.
4 kills.
One more clean fight, and they're back in the game.
They're back in the game, man. 1 minute 30 seconds left on the clock. Hotheads feeling the pressure, too. They've got to be. Eternity, though. Calm, cool, and collected. They find 2 more, and only 2 frags left before they are guaranteed a spot in the grand finals here. Hotheads, though, they're closing the gap. They are closing it quick.
Hold
2
up.
in a row for them.
Wait a minute.
Hold up. 1 point separating the two squads. Sneaky. This can't be real, right?
Wait. This is what I'm saying, Hotheads.
Minute left on the clock, man. Anything's possible. Yeah, anytime.
Yeah. They can't lose 2 here. Butterflicks needs to hit a shot right
Gotta
now.
hit the shot! He's so close range! He gets out of there. Beautifully done. Eternity, though. They find
Double
1.
kill.
Hotheads return.
Oh!
Copies with 2 to close it out, man. Just like that,
was
Eternity.
all on Butterflicks.
Absolutely. He had the moment there, man. We identified it too. We were watching together. Oh, so much tension. I can't imagine what those in-game comms must have sounded like. But just like that, Eternity, man, securing a spot in the grand finals.
Man, I was at the edge of my seat, not gonna lie. I was like, okay, they're gonna do the classic jump in. One guy has an SMG, and they're just gonna, go straight into it with the fight. But unfortunately, bit of confusion with the target selection, I guess. Butterflix could not hit that shot on the Deagle, which could have gave them the numbers advantage and an instant jump in for their side since they have the numbers advantage there. But unfortunately, sometimes you don't hit the shot, sometimes you do. And unfortunately for today, the man did flip the coin wrong.
Indeed, sir. And with that, the brackets are updating. But we know Eternity has made it into your grand finals where they'll be playing a best of 5 against the winner of the other side of the bracket. Of course, on the other side, we've got Xborg versus Egoist in the semifinals. So, with it being a single elimination bracket, Sneaky, we will be saying goodbye to Hot Heads for this weekend. But there is still one more qualifier for them and for potentially anybody in the audience watching today to qualify for an Extreme Championship Series, man. There is a lot on the line here.
Yeah. And this is definitely going to be a pretty exciting matchup going into the grand finals. It's either Xborg here, not the Xborg EU guys. Just to be clear, Xborg does own a whole lot of teams, so I would expect this to be a good roster. So, oh no, it is actually them. What? Never mind, I'm capping, guys. Call me a liar. Call me liar frog at this point, but it is them looking to get their second dub of the week. The most famous, I would say, farmers of the prize pools within EV.io. Xborg back at it again against Egoist from the hometown. Oh my god, from my hometown. It's Mao and the boys. There it is. Mao Fawn, who I was just playing against earlier, actually, and of course the legend himself, Mad Dog, the guy who everyone fears within the Asian scene at the moment. So, personally, there's gonna be a bit of bias going in towards the way of Egoist, because they're my hometown boys, man. You gotta support the Filipinos in this game, but Xborg, they definitely do have a big chance to move on to this one.
Absolutely, right? If anybody has been watching any of our EV.io tournaments, you know Xborg EU, you know they cook, you know those players for good reason. But, dude, new talent shows up all the time in this game. Anybody can hop in and anybody could be amazing. So I'm excited, and hopefully, we'll get the results of Egoist and Xborg shortly for you all. And, of course, the winner of that into the grand finals, into the best of 5, playing for $4,000. But, of course, all of that action after a short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more EV.io action very shortly.
Fix plus his leaders.
Yeah, things might get big.
So that would be massive. And so it's a mirror of Buffield and mirror of Brinroad and Amrock on exactly the same grade, but one is nature, the other one is air. Widow has the upper hand of the other one.
Well, I mean, Orso might have a little bit because he's playing the air versus he's the counter element, so we'll see if he can capitalize on it.
Will it be enough? Lolomi is first this time, so we know he likes to be second, but he probably has a good strategy for being first too.
Yep.
Both lining.
So it's interesting that he drops that one here because obviously, well, okay, yeah, it's hard to take it back with the nature, so that seems unlikely.
Poof. So the affix, like, Wolves wanted to play the earth and the dark, but the oh no, He just played the.
Yeah, I'm not because he wanted to play it so he could actually take.
Yeah, he
So he
wanted to
wanted to
retake
play
the
his
nature.
Earth, but then it got too big.
Yep. So first kind of quick play that we see here. Yeah, oopsies. Lolomi just going for it, controlling the full board and the Trinity.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, it's still kind of laying some groundwork for Ursox. So this turn, no, yeah, he has to throw a big card, but like if he plays his leader in B3, then
Yeah.
it doesn't create any affinity. He really wants to keep his leader probably.
We had a dream 5 years ago, and look what happened.
Raised $52 million from 24,000 individuals from the four corners of the world. Launch the first crypto app to educate the world.
Everyone to the Extreme Championship Series, powered by Brave, organized by Xborg, and of course brought to you by Community Gaming. I'm Jim Basco, and of course joining me is Sneaky Frogs, and we've had a fantastic day of EV.io competition, and currently we should have our grand finalist, Sneaky. So it's been an awesome day so far, culminating finally in our best of 5 grand finals.
Yeah, gonna be very, very exciting. Maybe you finally get to see a guaranteed fractal, at least, going into the grand finals, which I am very excited about. And yeah, we're gonna see whether one of these teams can really crank it up to 10, because right now I think Eternity EU, they're playing absolutely bonkers right now in every single map. I don't think they've dropped a map actually so far within the single elimination bracket. So I would say if they can keep this momentum going, especially up against either Xborg or Egoist,
right,
they can maybe get something going. I think it might be Xborg. Just maybe a thrown guess in there. It might be Xborg.
Yeah, Xborg EU, man, a storied roster to say the least, have won many of our tournaments, many EV.io competitions in general. But of course, Egoist, as you were mentioning, an Asian APAC region favorite, if you want to call it that. We're definitely cheering for all the teams today, but it would be nice to see an upset anywhere in the bracket, you know. And if you're looking at this game, you're looking at the fun time everyone is having, fear no more. You can compete today. EV.io is free to play, and you should download Brave browser because it runs really well on that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets now and see who actually made it into the grand finals, Sneaky.
Come on, boys. Not yet. I think. Are we casting semis? Damn. Oh, yeah. Okay, wait. I don't mind. I don't mind casting semis, actually.
Heck yes. Let's go. You love to see it. Sneaky. So give us the lowdown. You know, we just talked about APAC favorites. For anyone that was not here earlier, who are Egoist, who are Xborg EU, and who do you got coming into this match, man?
There it is. I mean, Xborg comprised of the cream of the crop, the best of the best that EV.io can offer. I think the roster has been switched up a bit for the 3v3. No longer are going to see a pure EU squad. Actually, it's more of like FaZe Clan at the moment. It's like a mixed EU roster, and then, you know, some NA players as well in the name of Big Boy. And Mr. Xenocidal himself, pretty big figure within the community of EV.io, has won a lot of championships under his belt as well, so he's not to be underestimated. But of course, Egoist, man. You cannot underestimate Egoist. They even got the blue lock photo in their community gaming, so you know they're serious. They know they are here to play. It is Mao, it is fun, and it is a Mad Dog. Mad Dog, of course, the man, not to be, you know, not to give him too much of the spotlight, right? But he is one of the better players here in the Asian scene. Fawn and Mao as well, really good support players, but they can frag as well. You cannot underestimate them at all, but they have to turn it up to a 10 if they're going to go up against Xborg in this best of 3.
Yeah, you'll love to see it, man. And these storylines have been developing, like you mentioned, for so freaking long. People in the Twitch chat even asking about these Xborg EU players because they know these names. And you'll love to see the newer talent. Although maybe not familiar with everybody, people like Mad Dog, the team of Egoist. Stories like this start in the grassroots, and of course, when you've been following it for so long, it is amazing to see them at the top level of competition here in the Extreme Championship Series. So, with the semifinals just around the corner, it is our final semifinals of the day. It is, of course, a best of 3 single elimination until we hit the grand finals, where it will be a best of 5. And of course, we're competing for for $20,000 across the course of the Extreme Championship Series. So a lot on the line for EVIO, man. And for a game in its first couple of years of competition, this is about as good as it gets, man. So we are just waiting for the players to get on into the game, but lots on the line. And if anyone in the Twitch chat has any predictions, let us know. Let the teams know who you got taking it into the semifinals. Do you have Egoist, or do you have the Xborg team taking it into the grand finals, Sneaky? I'm excited to see what they have to say, but match is just around the corner, man.
I think some people are mad that Big Boy and Lex are playing today. They're like, damn, we're on Xborg. Not again. Not again, guys, man. They're back for another one. But, you know, Xborg, you gotta respect the name itself still. They still have the best, but I think some people are tired. Maybe they're gonna corral with Egoist this time, and maybe we're gonna have acquire some fans. So yeah, let's see. Xborg, I want to see how they react to the changes. Actually, you know, the hand cannon being less, or the hand cannon having less damage now, since it's 28 into the body and 42 to the head. And maybe they're just gonna run 3 machine gun setups. I have seen Big Boy kind of playing around with some of the other weapons, like the laser rifle and the burst. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does pull it out in this map number 1, especially in Dragon Temple. But it's gonna be an interesting first map, actually, because from what I know, Fawn Mao and Mad Dog really like to play Dragon Temple, which is gonna be our first map in this best of 3.
Yeah, man, and if they're good at Dragon Temple, dude, they're going to have their work cut out for them, because the opponent waiting in the grand finals are really good at Dragon Temple, too. So we're going to have to see how this one pans out. Either way, it's going to be a fantastic semifinals, and it's been a great day of EV.io action. If you're watching this and wondering, how do I play this game? All you need is a browser, preferably Brave, because it runs flawlessly on that, but EV.io on your tablet, phone, computer, whatever you've got, you can play the game on it, and you can start earning today. All you have to do is connect your wallet and get to it, man. There's a how much multiplier from Brave now? All from June to December is the prime time, right, Sneaky?
June to December, 50% increase from Brave, and of course the 10% additional if you do play the Brave browser itself. So make sure you guys do download Brave and get your wallet set up and everything, and you can can start earning as soon as June does come around. I already have it set on my calendar, because that's definitely going to be the time where I'm going to be grinding. It's June to December. Oh my god, that's going to be like at least 7 months. So that's like 10k games, if we're going to count, if people were to grind that long. Maybe more, actually. I know some players really can at least maybe 50 or 60 games a day, but those are the real grinders. That's what they call the grinders for the clan.
That's nuts, man. And of course, if you're wondering how skins work in this game too, you can rent them, you can buy them, you can hop on over to the Discord to learn more about it, but they help you actually earn more per frag as well. So there's more incentives to get involved in the ecosystem, and of course, it's all free to do. All you need is a wallet, which is free to create and connect it to the game. So easy setup, easy to play, just really hard to master. And if you feel like you've got the chops for it, man, maybe participate in some of these tournaments, and you could be making some bread. So, you know, you're watching the competition, why not get involved today? But we are in the semifinals. One more best of 3 left before we head into the grand. Sneaky. We're going to be covering this Filipino team, Asia Pacific, in Egoist versus Xborg EU. Titans, really, of the EV.io scene. You couldn't have asked for anything better. And personally, I think the meta is in the best place it's ever been. I'm a fan of these nerfs to the sniper and the hand cannon. I just think it encourages people to do some damage and then get in there and finish it off. Yep. I like that.
Yeah, I like the more close quarters take that the devs did go with EV.io at the moment. So I would say, yeah, let's focus on the snipers. Snipers are going to be really hard to use, I guess. You know, they're more of a, you get the tag and then you have your teammate go in for you instead. or you really have to get that guaranteed headshot for that 115. So it's going to be interesting to see if any of these teams can really hit this one under pressure. I think a lot of people are expecting Xborg to be picking up most of the power weapons because they like to kind of turtle around some of these better spawns in the map itself, especially in Fractal. They know exactly where the sniper rifle is going to spawn. They know exactly where the deagle is going to spawn at the right time. So as long as they still have that sort of rhythm, that internal rhythm that they have, Xborg definitely can just take over the map. But, you know, Asian teams, erratic, everything, just play in your face, and we'll see how you react to it. And yeah, let's see what happens. I'm kind of hyped for this game. Egoist, man. Kind of cheering for them low-key. Maybe a bit of bias going in towards them because they're my homeboys. But hopefully, we see a close game at least from both sides.
Let's hop on into it, though. We've got Xborg EU in the green and Egoist in the red here. So things starting off, of course, with a bit of context here. Xborg have won plenty of tournaments. They are definitely the favorites in this match. Yeah, Egoist coming in as the underdog. So that's why we're talking about this story and why it's going to be so important. And of course, you see it, Egoist 4-1 to start the match. Xborg fire back with a clean sweep.
Yeah, I mean, Egoist with a stellar start in Dragon Temple. They're just keeping it close again and again and again. And Fawn, if he can get this fast kill, that's going to be a 2-point lead. Insane by him, but Zeno does get the return. But at least after that initial start of this one, they kept it close with Xborg. They just need to get control on their side of the map, especially. They need to line up those TPs and try to get some nades, maybe get some pushes to the left as much as possible. But some really nice shots coming in here from Egoist. They're keeping it close.
Right. Doing such a good job of Egoist just chasing them down, chasing down these frags where they can. And let's take a look at the team comms. Let's listen on in.
Kabila TP, nag-chill lang. Sniper sino?
Mid.
Mid. Channel.
Low.
Dead.
Nice.
Lexa dead. Oh, Lexa dead, yeah.
Tide.
Big boy low.
Mid. Sa baba.
Gilid niyo yung sa iba.
8.
Nasa baba, baba.
Mid dalawa. Big boy low. Dalawa, magkasama.
Big boy low par. Big boy low.
Hindi ko
Nice.
na-trade. Ayun, nice.
My bad.
Nasa TP lang. Fuck, I forgot. Okay, chill.
Wait, wag mag-TP, may mines. Lagi.
Oh, nag-impulse. Pushing.
Impulse pataas, hindi, impulse pataas sa TP. Taas ng TP.
Okay.
And baba, dalawa. Tatlo, baba. Low,
Big boy low.
One, two,
Big boy low.
Nice.
Nice.
Last one. Wait, low ako.
Nag-ano na siya, heal.
Low.
Such a good coincidence that you have a Filipino caster. I can understand every single word that they're saying at the moment.
Give us a breakdown, Sneaky. What was the what was the herein?
I think the most of the comms were definitely them discounting all over the place, and they're just I would say, yeah, they're just calling it really well. They're not commanding the overheat from their side. They're just like, okay, guys, let's calm down. We already got the fight. We already got our kills here. Even if they have the lead, we just want to not fight as much as possible and maybe get these weapons. But yeah, I mean, this is a really nice communication here from the side of Egoist. But Xborg, they still have the lead. That's the reality of it here in Dragon Temple. So you really have to, at least at the very last part of this map, get that last 3 kills. But it's going to be hard because Xborg, look at them. They're just playing all over the place.
They're doing a really good job, man. You got to give it to Egoist for being so calm, cool, and collected throughout this entire match, right? They are, trying to catch as much of what Xborg is doing, but what I wish I saw a little bit more out of from Egoist is them executing their own strategy, and it seems like they're finally going on the offensive now. Egoist get a couple, but then get returned on very quickly by Xborg. Big Boy just going on a tear there. as we're watching Lex now on board with him, taking us all the way to the top. They've got the timings on the hand cannons. They know what's going on. They've achieved their flow. An 11-point lead here is going to be pretty hard to overcome for Egoist, but for a long time, Sneaky, they held on to that game, and we're keeping it a 1 or 2 point match.
Yeah, I mean, that breakaway really is painful here for the side of Egoist, because as soon as Xborg breaks away the map, I think it's really hard for the trade-off to go back in their way, because Xborg, as soon as they have the lead and they know that the enemy is kind of dangerous, they're gonna camp a bit, and they're gonna at least go in as that 3-man squad, and they're gonna make it as difficult as possible here for the side of Egoist to at least make some fair picks in towards their side with their power weapons, because, you know, Xborg, they're kind of turtling.
Kind of turtling for sure, and Xborg are doing a really good job of, look, we talked about this push-pull, right? Xborg, they choose when to get aggressive, they realize when Egoists start getting frantic, and then they turtle. They catch all of Egoist's push, they flip-flop back and forth between aggression and defense, and it's so beautiful to watch. Xborg are so, they have a lot of chemistry, you know? They've played together for so long that they kind of know what each other want to do, and they're showing it right now as 3 points remain between them and a first-round victory in the semifinals, man.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, going up against Xborg, it's like, if we're gonna reference basketball here, it's like going against Steph and KD back in that old Warriors era, that very deadly 1-2 punch. Very evident here as well with Zeno and Lex, two of the best players who ever come out, and Big Boy. I was almost gonna call him old, but, you know, he's pretty good at this game as well. But that's my boy, Big Boy, though, man. You gotta expect Xborg to perform every time, even if it's Dragon Temple. And, yeah, they did not disappoint in this first map.
Absolutely did not disappoint, and Egoist really showing that they can hang with the big dogs, man. That was a really close match for the first 2 or 3 minutes of it. You know what I mean? It was really good until Xborg were like, oh, we figured you out, and then busted it open. So as we head on into round 2, it's a best of 3. Anything is still possible, and for Egoist, what I would take away, right, we were right there with them the whole match. How can we now keep that same pace up? Because we know we can hang, and then how can we take the lead here? Sneaky, you know, I feel hope. I don't think it's over yet for Egoist. You know, I still feel a glimmer.
Maybe maybe a glimmer of momentum. Gonna be a very interesting time, to say the least, because, yeah, that's just gonna be, I'm trying to think if I'm trying to kind of simulate in my head what's gonna happen in this map, because I think Lex and the boys do have somewhat of an advantage for it, because if they do know the spawns in this map, it is not difficult to kind of play their usual kind of turtley and then they jump in style. But I think for the side of Egoist and the boys, maybe they do have a chance, right? Since, you know, the map is huge, maybe they can have some isolated 1v1s that they're a bit more favored of. But you can't underestimate the mechanics of the top dogs over at Xborg. So you really have to think about every single decision that you have to do when you get that jumping going, when you get that impulse nade. It better be a smart impulse nade, or your health bar is gonna go from 100 to 0 in an instant.
Yeah, exactly, and you like to see it from Egoist, right? They're calling out the impulses, they're trying to get their team to come back on the defense, group up, let's catch this one guy impulsing in, but it's so hard if you're not really ready to be defensive. If you already use your movement utility, it's going to be a couple of seconds before it's back up again, right? So what is the plan from Egoist? They kept it so tight. Can they amp it up? Can they take us to game 3, the first game 3 of the day? I don't know, man. I don't know. They're definitely feeling the heat, but in a certain way, I want to say that Egoist should also feel less pressure, because Xborg, they're expected to win. Egoist, they're not expected to win. If the expectation's not there, man, you just got to do your best. And if you do your best, maybe you may take it to map 3, man. Maybe you take it all the way, and maybe we'll see Egoist in the grand final.
Frack's going to be insanely interesting, honestly, if we do make it to map number 3, because that's just like a straight up mechanical map. Like, you really have to have your aim on point and everything. If you don't, you're basically going to get run over, considering, you know, just like I said, the lack of cover in that map really does reward any players who just basically can aim diff your opponent. So hopefully map number 3 can happen. Hopefully. Yeah. Fingers crossed, praying for the boys over at the side of over at the side of Egoist, and yeah, if they can make it, it's gonna be a very interesting grand final.
It's going to be a good time, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we are in the semifinals today. All the teams are competing for their share of $4,000, and this is a qualifier, 2 out of 3, for a championship weekend later on in the year where they compete for $8,000. It's a lot of money. That's $20,000 over the course of the season, and that's just one of many games you can compete in for free today. Make sure you head on over to communitygaming.io. Look it up, look up ev.io, look up the other tournaments, and get involved today, man. It's free to play, free to join. ev.io in your browser, any device. You can get started today, Sneaky. So lots of ways to earn. Really, what's stopping you?
Yeah, I mean, what's stopping you? You just gotta log in, gotta frag, and you do make some cash, and hopefully you guys do get your fair share of cash, because, you know, if you have a good aim, definitely gonna get rewarded with something in ev.io. And yeah, I think game number 2 is around the horizon. We are just fixing the lobbies at the moment. You guys know how troublesome lobbies can be from time to time, so we're just making sure everything is all in well, especially in the servers. I think what map number 3? Map number 2, Momentum. How is Egoist gonna win in this one? They need to crack that. They need to crack that shell open, man.
They gotta crack the shell open. Yeah, and you see, we talked about it, you know, prior to the show. The Asian scene is very familiar with getting in your face, trying to keep the pace of the action really high, keep the momentum high. Mechanics that are in your face as well. We're talking about the nade impulse jumps. So, with a map that is so momentum heavy, like Momentum, does that favor Egoist in your opinion, Sneaky?
I would say maybe, because, you know, Asian teams really love that that smidge of momentum, and then they just start rolling again and again and again. But I mean, momentum breakers are there for a reason, and Xborg definitely knows how to cool down a team, no problem. But if that doesn't happen, maybe the boys over at Egoist can definitely just take over in this map number 2, and yeah, hopefully we do get something going over at the other side, because it's gonna be kind of sad if, you know, we just get 2-0 and move on to the next week.
Yeah, at least there are more opportunities. So we are heading into the match now. This is semifinal number 2, our final one of the day. We are in the best of 3, and we're in the second game here. Xborg in the green currently lead the series 1-0 as Egoist, our underdog challengers, lead this game but are down 1 match in the series. All they need, though, is a second victory here. Xborg looking to secure this best of 3 and seed themselves into the grand final, Sneaky.
Yep, there it is. I mean, it is quite the equal start. Both sides just trading again and again and again. No one really has a definite lead, and Xborg does finally get a break, which is only 1 point, but really good reset here from Xeno. But he tried to do things alone. You can't do that here in EV, especially when there's 3 people around the corner.
Doing a good job of just staying away out of the line of fire, Egoist. But they're keeping the pressure up, man. Every frag that Xborg gets is traded back, and now it's tied up. Beautifully done, Xeno from the bottom. Oh, in between a rock and a hard place as Egoist take the lead here.
Yeah, someone needs to go crazy here on towards the other side. If I'm not mistaken, the guy with a different name, also known as Milstrom, that's probably Mad Dog. If that's another player, then very funny. I mean, that would be... yeah, that would be very interesting to say the least. But we are going to see the team comms. Hopefully we do see the Xborg side this time. If not, then it's fine. I'm going to translate for the boys over in chat. Let's have a listen in.
He killed all of us, amazing. Just reset. Go middle now. Spawn in, go middle. He has SMG, you need to keep your distance. Waiting for you guys middle. Phone is dead, he came back to life. They're banana.
Got him.
Monster there as well, both of them. Big boy, play with your teammate.
Mashiba. Nice. Smoke down, I'm hiding.
I'm waiting for you guys in the middle.
You're safe.
Yep, moving towards you.
Everyone is on me. I'm running.
Come castle. I've
One
shot
guy
him.
alone on TP, I will come for TP. I'm with you guys.
One dead.
Nice.
Fawn's rising. He's in the sky half.
Fun is dead. Mashiba's dead. Wow.
Nice job. I'm on TP.
Hold the TP, guys. Throw some stickies, hold it down.
Sniper's up mid.
I'm lagging.
Mashiba, all the damage is getting refunded.
I took the sniper, they don't have it. Oh, I killed him and he came back to life.
Every time.
Yep. I'm pushing from behind.
Fawn, dude, this is so non-competitive.
I'm dead, he came back to life. All three overhang. Okay, guys, listen, let's wake up. Let's hold banana together, because Moshiba's pushing alone and we get a kill.
Okay.
I killed him. Now I'm hiding. Like, let's play this properly.
I'm moving through alley.
Yeah, just don't fight as much as possible. Just hide, play like a pussy.
Dude, I'm winning the trades by a mile
I
on
know.
this one.
We just don't need to take them, that's the truth. Nice, good job. I'm mining. I'm hiding, coming. Zeno, just play with us.
Yep.
Nice. I'm with you now.
There it is. Zeno being a bit greedy. But, you know, you got Lex just making sure everyone is under control. Very good leadership from the man himself, making sure everyone is not overextending, especially in these types of maps where your lead can just disappear in an instant when Egoist does have the right angles. And yeah, I mean, overall, you could see why Xborg is one of the best teams in this in EV.io, because, you know, they just have really clean comms, and Lex, he knows how to... I think he sees things that we don't see in this game, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And you know, when you talk about playing EVIO at a high level, it comes down, everyone can aim. That's no longer the question. Can you play your timings and can you play the map right? And what I really liked in our listen in there is what you highlighted in Lex. When Zeno starts getting frustrated because he's taking duels that he knows he can win, but is losing them, how do you come out of that? The way you come out of it is you play macro, you play the game. You know Maoshiba's pushing, let's hold together, let's get this pick, let's hide, let's regen our health, and then take the fight. We don't need to be taking all these stupid fights and losing all these trades. Egoist been doing that for a long time, capitalizing on the misplays of Xborg, and they've had the lead, but Xborg now, they've made it a 2-point game, and with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, man, this is the closest game we've had all day long. And it could go either way here as Xborg close it to 1 frag. And just like that, man.
This is the consequence of playing super aggressive, especially up against Xborg once they finally have their mojo in the game. I mean, they could just instantly turn their tides right back around. That's how mechanically good they are, despite being on high-paying, you know, international game. And you gotta play with the servers, man. Sometimes you play with 200, sometimes you play with 50, and it seems like Xborg are doing a stellar job despite, you know, playing on high ping. They're still hitting their shots. They're still playing these situations really well.
Beautifully done. Sliding in, over-committing. Xborg taking advantage, just playing the map so well, taking their doubles whenever they can, capitalizing on Maoshiba. Yet again, Zeno finds 2 back-to-back. Fawn responds.
Crazy.
Zeno, mid-air, beautiful tracking, gets the kill as a fadeaway. Beautifully done, dude.
Yeah, Zeno's going crazy. I think at this point, he doesn't care if he dies in that situation. He's already damaged. He's already just making sure that his team can get some cleanup going. But they really want to contain this TP. I think this main TP does come out on the other side of the map, the exact opposite. So they want to keep control so they can get some movement going. But Fawn can't underestimate man with the...
Slowing it down, man. They should, at this point, take their time. And it's still a 1-point game. 2 minutes left on the clock. Big boy going down. It is tied on up. Yet again, 1 minute 55 left on the clock and 11 frags needed for both teams here. I don't know how this is going to pan out, man, but Egoist, they are fighting for their tournament lives right now, man.
Yep. And the Zeno's gonna go in. He sees that one person slow. Great damage here from Big Boy. That means that's gonna be a jump in, but Fawn, he could clutch this.
Oh, with a wraparound. Fawn, beautifully done. Lex trying to break his ankles. Fawn comes out on top. Maoshiba gets the second. Zeno.
No.
Oh, the trade is there. Xborg still leading by 1 more. 1 minute, 20 seconds left on the clock. It's tied back up. Fawn, beautifully done. On to Lex. Egoist take the lead.
He needs to reset. Oh, really good shot. Oh, no, Egoist. 1 second.
Way.
Wait a minute.
Beautifully done. 46-44 for Egoist right now. A minute left on the clock. Lex healing back up, wrapping around the right side. Checks his back. Zeno's there to help him out. Zeno watching the bottom. Big boy coordinates for the frag. 47-46. 48 for Egoist now. Just 2 points remaining. Zeno, Maestrom going back and forth. 49 for Egoist, sneaky. And Fawn in the middle of the smoke, wrapping around the left side here. Finds the shot down onto Big Boy. Egoists do it. They're taking us to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting in map number 3. Fractal is going to be our decider. Egoist, they take a map off of the Kings. Could be the ping diff, maybe, but we do not care either way. A game is a game. A game is a game for the homies over at
Absolutely.
Egoist. And
Yeah, man.
I think third map, we're going to be playing the, I think third map server, probably going to be the middle of the two. Maybe we're going to play either Amsterdam or any of the EU servers here, so we can maybe have a better server for both sides. And it's going to be very interesting because, you know, maybe with a bit of a better ping, we maybe can see more here from Lex and Big Boy, because I think they were kind of struggling with some of the shots not really registering, as you could hear from Xeno's voice earlier. So hopefully there would not be much problems here for map number 3, because I just want to see pure shooting.
Yeah, and you got to think about it too, right? If Xborg know they're at the ping disadvantage, I think what they do is follow Lex and just play that slower macro style. Play around the map, take your doubles where you can, and get out after doing your damage, because you know you're not going to be able to get the shots that you normally can. So set yourself up for success. If they took that change of mind that they had halfway through the match and had that earlier in the game, had Xeno dialed in, we might already be in the grand finals here. But I'm happy for Egoist, man. That underdog story is cooking, and it is just at the boiling point right now. We are 1-1 in the semifinals. Will Egoist head to grands with the upset of EVIO history, or will Xborg EU continue their streak and head into grands up against Eternity for that rivalry matchup, which is an entirely different story altogether? There's a lot, man. A lot around the corner.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting, honestly. The Xborg versus Eternity storyline just keeps on getting better, especially as the tournaments do go on. I mean, this team that Eternity probably has is probably their best team that they've had in a while here. So I would say this is probably their best shot on getting a dub and any of these XCS and qualify for that tournament. But say it's going to be a very interesting grand finals either way if Egoist or Xborg do get in. So the Egoist does get in, but I wouldn't be mad if Xborg does go through. Maybe just a bit mad. Maybe just just like that.
It's always good to have these underdog stories, and of course, if you believe that you could beat all of these players, register for the tournament. It's free, and there's one more qualifier just next month, I believe, right? I was going to say next week, but I believe it's next month. You can play for $4,000 there. If you qualify through, which the top 16 will, you'll qualify for the championship weekend, where you'll play for $8,000. In total, that's $20,000 on the line for EV.io alone. And with Brave now giving you plus 50% earnings from June all the way to December, and an additional 10% should you be using the Brave browser, there is no better time to get involved in EVIO than right now. So if you think you can flex, get in, man. Make it happen. It's free to do. And you can play anywhere, man. Play on anything.
Yeah, play on anything. But we do prefer the Brave browser, that's for sure. But
For sure.
yeah. Yeah, I would say map number 3 gonna be very interesting. Down to Fractal. I mean, Egoist, they did kind of had the more I would say aggressive game at the start. Xborg kind of figured it out at around the 3-minute mark that you know, they can maybe punish this with one of them maybe getting caught out by themselves. But yeah, I would say if Xborg, I think it's really hard to get caught in Fractal. Not gonna lie, because just the sheer size of the map, it's actually that small that, you know, if you get caught on the side, your teams can just instant react with an impulse nade and yeah, get you the help that you need. So just like I said, man, this is gonna be, you know, somewhat of a test both in the micro and the macro game between these two teams.
Yeah, TP control going to be important. Of course, there is always that one area of the map up on the it kind of looks like Pride Rock. It's got that one ramp on it. You know which one I'm talking about on Fractal. It's going to be the main point of the game. So macro, micro, all going to be important. Mechanical skill clearly on display between both of these squads. So who's got the better brain power? Who's got the endurance to take us all the way through the semis, into the grands, and into that final best of 5? It's definitely tight between these two squads, but I can't wait to watch Egoist, underdogs of the century so far, up against Xborg EU. Definitely a David versus Goliath story if I've ever seen one, dude.
Yeah, and hopefully we do get an interesting game, either the result. I mean, I want to see it going down to the wire, just like how it did earlier with you know, the score being 48 and 50 and all that other jazz. And I mean, if we can get that type of game, I think everyone in the audience will definitely be happy. But yeah, looking forward to this map number 3. Just like I said, I mean, the difference between the styles, it is going to be a bit more turtle-ish from the side of Xborg, especially in Fractal. You want to keep those numbers to your advantage because you can just react instantly. But yeah, I would say Egoist, I think if they just play normally, I guess they can try and get the equal score back in towards their way. I think what's going to be the most interesting part is how are they going to deny the sniper rifle from Lex here, because he's one of the best, if not the best, sniper rifle players in the game itself, and you don't want this man on a deagle. So yeah, as soon as you keep that away from him, maybe he's going to be a bit, I know, a bit less deadly, but he is still just as deadly with his normal machine gun on towards his side. Xeno and Big Boy as well, quite the threat on towards their end. But I think, yeah, if you can deny Lex that, then maybe, you know, I think one of the weaknesses of Xborg is if you put them in a really bad situation, they kind of tilt. So if we can tilt Xborg, man, that would be a very sick series, that's for sure.
That's the thing, dude. You know, you're talking about mental fortitude, especially after a game like that last one, where we had to listen in. You hear Lex, cool, calm, collected. I don't know if I even heard a Big Boy, but you hear Xeno, too, just kind of obviously frustrated with the situation, but you can tell there's some sort of dynamic in there, you know what I mean? Egoist,
yeah.
They're having a good time. They're keeping the comms up, and I hope they're keeping it, you know, they're not feeling too much pressure, because I can understand, yes, you want to win this, you want to go to grand finals, but you just did it once. Can you do it again? I'm nervous for both these teams. I want to see Egoist go through just for the underdog story. I'm always a fan of that. Xborg, they're obviously fantastic players, storied individuals. If there was a Hall of Fame for EV.io, they'd probably be in it, right? But it's always good to see new competition, man. So this is exciting, to say the least. And we're not even in the grand finals yet. That is just around the corner. But with that said, we are ready to head on into the game. Map 3, Fractal, between Xborg EU in the green and Egoist in the red.
Damn, and already at the start of the game, just an exchange from both sides, just fist fighting at the start of this one. And Big Boy does get the joust successfully, and even get a extra one. So that's a 2-point lead and 3-point lead at the start of the game here for Xborg, and they're going to look for those weapons, or even just deny those special weapons from the side of Egoist, because they do not want the deagle on the hands of anyone in this one. Oh!
Whew, Fawn!
Talking about, man.
Yeah. Oh, that is such a tough fight to watch. That was an overextension from everybody on Egoist almost, and Xborg just clean it up, bust it open, take the lead, 11-3 suddenly in the blink of an eye, man.
Yeah, 11-3, just like that. And Egoist now, they have to play from the back foot, maybe keep their old style, you know, just keep on fighting until maybe you get a lead in this one. But it's going to be very dangerous, especially with the collection of weapons that the Xborg side that does have. Even the rocket launcher here on Lex, going to try to make some players explode.
Ooh.
And that he does.
Tough, man. What a tough situation. Xborg, fantastic on this map. This is where we saw them rise to fame, you know, all of those series on this pink map. So many matches played from the Xborg EU squad, so many championships taken right here on this sacred ground, and Egoist experiencing that in real time, man. They're about to get styled on by Lex as he continues his reign of terror.
The heck? Oh, so not normally, that's for sure. That does not happen a lot, but oh my god, Lex is on fire this game. I think he's tired after map number 2, after what just transpired in Momentum, and he is here to play some EV.io. Currently on a crazy KD 8-3, if I'm not mistaken. Could be more right now, as they just keep on fighting in this one. Xborg kind of playing Egoist this game at the moment, because they just have that big of a lead.
Yo, Lex is crazy!
Oh, another one
he
bites
is
the
in
dust,
it for the
man.
disrespect, bro. I love to see it. I love when things get not really personal, you know what I mean, but like when you can tell that the players are beefing in the game. They'll start flexing, like, yeah, exactly. You know, they'll start chasing them with a knife. They'll start TPing, start teabagging, and you love to see it just because you know they're feeling themselves. Xborg, though, kind of getting shut down on their momentum, but as I say that, Xeno picks up 2 in a row, keeping it high for their side.
Jesus, now they're just pugging it up.
Absolutely,
I think it's a pug out. It's a pug out, man. It's whoever just pugs best. And in this situation, there's no more strategies happening. Both sides just panicking. Not really for Xborg. I think Xborg just wants to keep the panic going as much as possible. And for the side of Egoist, they cannot play smartly here, man, because they really have no timings in towards their favor because Xborg is just constantly in their face.
You love to see it. It's guerrilla warfare, dude. Xborg just in their face from the left, from the right, isolating these fights. Xeno and Lex doing a high-low split there onto the TP, onto the power-up. They've got the weapon, they've got the map control, the nade through. It's not going to be enough, though, as Maestrom from the back picks up one. Fawn returns. Egoist still trying their darndest, man. But with the 16 kill difference here, Xborg, they are just cooking, dude.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how hard Egoist's cooks here, I think the lead is going to be a bit brutal for them to come back. 17 kills, even 19 now. And yeah, I mean, Xborg really did come to play. This could be, I think, a 5-minute banger from their side as they just want to end this quick and go straight into the Eternity EU match. And they're not hesitating at all. This is going to be a fast one.
Absolutely. And if you're Egoist, right, what do you do to try to break up the momentum? It's like you can try camping these power-ups. You know what I mean?
But
You've got players. It's fractal, right? There's so many openings. There's so many avenues that they can send it down.
This was momentum.
So
this
hard.
would be very possible, but right now I don't think it is.
And it's so tough, man. With 7 frags remaining for Xborg in our semi-final match here. Make it 5. They are looking secure in their placement for the grand finals. Xborg EU, cracks in their armor, finally showing after what feels like a long time. And it's a Filipino team to do it. Egoist finally taking a map off of Xborg EU. But with that, man, Xborg solidifying their spot into the best of 5 grand finals.
Yeah, god dang it. God dang it, Xborg. Y'all done it again. Crushing the dreams of another team to make it to the grand finals.
Absolutely.
It happens. It's a weekly occurrence or a monthly occurrence for the XCS at least, but it is what it is, man. The better team does win it out, and they are very, very clean in frac number 3. They definitely are not feeling the ping that time because I feel like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, as I saw the chat, it was the NA server being played, which is not too bad of a ping for us over at PH, especially when it is on the LA or the one server near LA, somewhere in the west side. I forgot which horizon where it is, but there it is. Xborg, they in dominant fashion, they take it in map number 3.
Yeah, really well done, man. This is what we were expecting out of them earlier on. Egoist, though, gotta shout them out. Filipino team, man, you go. And we'd love to see them back in the next qualifier because, hey, top 16 from these qualifiers are heading to championship weekend. So you never know, they might just sneak on in there. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. We've just got the grand finals left. It's the best of 5 just around the corner between both Goliaths of the bracket, man. Eternity EU not dropping a single map so far, and Xborg EU, who have cracks in their armor thanks to Egoist, but looking confident after that last match for sure, Sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, Eternity, man. I feel like you guys might wanna. It's kind of a suggestion for me, right? You guys might pull out the bit of the cash here and acquire one of the former Xborg players. So I think it may be his free agent, or he could be retired. I have no information where he is at the moment. Shout out to SSJ. I miss you, man. But Xborg looking just as strong as it did back then with him in the roster. And it seems like they have not missed a step. They've missed 1 step, and then they went 2 steps forward after that series. But Eternity EU versus Xborg, I feel like this is a rivalry brewing that I'm expecting to be very spicy.
Absolutely. Teams that we've known about for a long time, players we've known about for a long time, the cream of the crop, the best of the EV.io scene here. Eternity EU, Xborg EU, a best of 5 bonanza. I don't know what to expect, man. Both these teams look so dominant in their games, and yeah, Xborg's been playing for quite a while now, so endurance is definitely going to come into it, right? Will they be physically fatigued? Will they be mentally fatigued? And Eternity definitely have an advantage there. They just are coming off a break, so we'll see if that factors in at all, Sneaky. But if you had to speculate, if you had to talk about it, what are your thoughts here, man? What do you think is going to happen in these grand finals?
Yeah. I think it could be very close in the first map. I think Dragon Temple, I think Eternity might have the advantage of that, considering they kind of play the map a lot more compared to Xborg, if I'm not mistaken. But Xborg, after what I've seen from map number 3, they can definitely just roll over team if they do have the momentum on their side. If they do have that 10 plus kill lead, it's kind of impossible to remove from them. So as long as Eternity does not get how would you say this? Does not get left in the dust in this game. Steamrolled. As long as they do not go from, you know, I think an ideal score for them would probably be at around the half mark, would be like 30-27, around that, and they're gonna try to go from there. But if it goes beyond 10 kills, I think Xborg, they're just gonna seal off the map.
Yeah, it's a tough situation to put yourself into, but of course, when we're talking about scores and stuff, something that comes to mind is pace, right? If they can slow down the pace of the game, then maybe you can stage a comeback. Maybe it'll be a bit more tactical, but right, if they just blow it open, they get 10 kills in a row, and they gain that momentum, keep it high, it's going to be a tough spot. But with that said, we are going to head to our final break of the broadcast. I believe before we head into the grand finals, we will have the match ready for you right as we get back. I'm Jim Basco, that's Sneaky Frog. It's been a fantastic day so far, and the action continues right after this short break. We'll see you soon.
We had a dream 5 years ago, and look what happened.
Raised $52 million from 24,000 individuals from the 4 corners of the world. Launch the first crypto app to educate the world. Released the Swissborg app, serving 700,000 community members. The CHSB token hits unicorn status with $1.4 billion market cap. Swissborg ranks top 5 DeFi players in the world. All of this thanks to you, the best community in the world.
If you want to take part in the next 5 years, hop on.
The DeFi path is not an easy one. You will face many challenges and risks. So you'll need the right tools. With Swissborg Earn, ease your path to the rewards you deserve. No effort, no worries. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy earning on your crypto. Swissborg Earn. Swissborg Earn.
We had a dream 5 years ago, and look what happened.
Raised $52 million from 24,000 individuals from the four corners of the world. Launched the first crypto app to educate the world. Released the Swissborg app, serving 700,000 community members. The CHSB token hits unicorn status with $1.4 billion market cap. Swissborg ranks top 5 DeFi players in the world. All of this thanks to you, the best community in the world.
If you want to take part in the next 5 years, hop on.
The DeFi path is not an easy one. You will face many challenges and risks. So you'll need the right tools. With Swissborg Earn, ease your path to the rewards you deserve. No effort, no worries. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy earning on your crypto. Swissborg Earn. Swissborg Earn.
Welcome back to the Extreme Championship Series, powered by Brave, organized by Xborg, and of course brought to you by Community Gaming. I'm Jim Basco, and that's Sneaky Frogs, and we've had an awesome day of EV.io competition, culminating now in the Grand Finals, the best of 5, where we see long-time rivals, Eternity EU versus Xborg EU, Sneaky. These two teams have been going head-to-head for quite some time, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just exclusively in tournaments, right? You do see some of their names pop out in the servers as well. And, you know, as a member of the Xborg clan myself, you know, it's kind of in the back of my mind every time there's an Eternity player in the lobby. And it's like, yeah, I have to kill them. Like, I gotta get the clan points, man. I gotta get my numbers up. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting storyline going into the future of EV.io, right? I mean, Eternity EU being this good going into the grand finals, just literally running over every single team that they came across. And these are not bad teams, man. Team, they have some vets on their team, hotheads as well. They have some tournament experience, and Xborg definitely gonna have an interesting challenge here. And what I like about this is the servers are only gonna be either between Amsterdam or NA, so ping less of a problem here in this series.
Absolutely, less of a problem. And of course, when we're talking about history between Eternity and EU and Xborg, like you mentioned, Eternity EU not dropping a single map in the entire bracket, Xborg EU not dropping a map all the way until the semifinals, where they got a map taken off of them by the underdogs, Egoist. But talking about Eternity EU and Xborg, the last time we saw these two teams go head-to-head on LAN back in 2022, like you're mentioning, Sneaky, in Turkey. That was the last time we saw them compete together. Xborg ended up winning in that best of 5, 3-2, winning just by a couple of frags, by 3 or 4. Actually, those frags happened from SKJ2, a player that you were just mentioning, who's, of course, on break right now for school finals. So best of luck to him.
Goddamn.
Hopefully he finishes out strong and then returns back to
If he comes back, I swear, I'll ask that man. You want to make a team?
Hey man,
you want to make a team? You know, Xborg. You want to make another branch?
Yes, sir. You never know, man. And if you guys want to get involved, head on over to ev.io. It's free to play on your browser. Anywhere you can access it. But we'd prefer if you use the Brave browser, because honestly, I've tried them all out, and the game runs flawlessly on Brave, and I can't say that about other browsers. So it's a good time for sure. Lots of opportunity out there, man. Make some money. Let's go.
Yeah, make that very good cash money. Yeah, I mean, if you can win tournaments as well, double your stacks, and make sure to go over to community gaming and join the tournament by as well. I mean, XCS, it's going to happen every month until we get enough teams for that main tournament that we have, the top 16 players and or teams. It's going to be the 8K prize for that very last one. I think it's going to definitely be a big motivator for these players who want to get that first prize. Not just for the prize itself, but for the pride of being the best in the game.
Lucan, Copies, and Barrel. That's Eternity, man. Securing 1 apiece. Sending a message to the Xborg squad already with a team wipe. Of course, we're watching Eternity in the green and Xborg in the red.
Gonna be very interesting, man. Low ping games for both of these teams. I think with the exception of Big Boy and Xeno might be playing at the low 200 or high 100s, low 200s maybe, but I think it's gonna be fine because the hit reg is not going to be that bad at that ping, unless, you know, they're experiencing it. Otherwise, depends on their ISP at this point. But Eternity EU, quite a big lead at the start of the game. They now are containing it really well. We're not seeing the other games where Eternity EU would just basically dive in for it, even if the enemy is 100 HP. I think they're playing a bit smarter here in Dragon Temple, knowing that their enemy is Xborg.
Absolutely. They are using their util to get into spots that are advantageous, you know what I mean? High ground, things like that, not necessarily just diving in for the fights. They know if they overextend, they will get punished. Eternity is doing such a good job of keeping their distance as Xeno goes on a tear individually, secures a team wipe there, and is out into safety. Beautifully done. Inevitably does get traded out, though, by Barrel as Lucan, Big Boy. They find a couple more. And the difference between the teams stays at about 4 or 5 right now. Eternity trading back and forth.
Whew. Barrel is really on fire this game, as well as Lucan. I mean, we have seen this again and again and again this entire time, this entire tournament, that they have just been heating up no matter what happens. But Xeno, not a stranger to being a microwave in this game. But Eternity, gonna be very interesting to see how they contain this lead. Now Xborg is starting to fight back.
Yeah, sometimes those movement abilities can leave you so stranded, right? You saw that slide out off the impulse, just kind of leaving him a sitting duck, sliding in a straight line straight towards the barrel of an Xborg player. Eternity EU up at 18 points. Xborg not far behind at 15. And with the smokes galore, the lines of sight are cut off. They're having to wrap around the right side as Copies. Goes down. Barrel gets the trade. And finds one more for the cause. Beautifully done from Eternity. Still just a 4-point game. Very close here, Sneaky.
Yep, 22 and 16. Not an impossible scoreline to come back from, especially for the Xborg boys. But Eternity EU already at the half point of the kill limit, doing such a great job just playing their side of the map. And as soon as they see a single member low on the other side, they just go for the easy jump in. And now we do see Barrel kind of leading the charge for his team, 10 and 7, but I think it's more of an equal effort between every single player of Eternity.
Absolutely, yeah. The scoreboard may never show the true story. The gameplay definitely does. Yeah, Lex in the middle of it all. Ends with a knife in his back from Barrel. And still just a 6-point game. Almost gets 3. Yeah, almost gets the wipe of his own. But Eternity doing a really good job keeping their distance. They find the frags. They dip on back. Wait for their health to regen. Wait for their teammates to respawn to try and regroup and get this fight down. Xeno doing a good job of controlling this high ground. Drops the smoke. Drops down. Gets wrapped behind. Loses the target. And loses his life. That's tough, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he saw the bind on his screen, and he just was wondering why he was flying that far up in the air on 1 HP. So now it is going to be Eternity's turn to control this side of the high ground, actually. Not much teams, especially in Dragon Temple, actually use this side of the map other than Eternity EU and Xborg, because this really provides you with a whole lot of cover. But at the same time, your heads are going to be exposed to Xeno. Gets a double kill. Nice shots from the side of Xborg. That's definitely going to help with their effort to get back into this game.
Let's see if they can... Oh! You love to see it. It's always so satisfying, man. He's locked in. You love to see it.
Yeah.
Not going to hit that second shot there. Close quarters with Barrel. Going to go down as Big Boy cleans up. Lucan returns the frag. It's just 3 frags separating these two teams, man. It can go either way in the blink of an eye. And with game point just around the corner, 3 minutes and 25 seconds will determine who takes this first game.
They're looking for the sniper spawn here. I think they really want to get that sniper on either Lex and or Xeno. But at the moment, I don't think Xeno needs it. He just goes in with a machine gun, but it is a 1-point lead between both sides. Lex even gets one. Xeno looking for more. Oh, and he finds copies.
Insane stuff here. Keeping it in the lead for Eternity just by a point, and it's tied on back by Big Boy. Both teams feeling it right now. 38-38. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. It's a 3-on-3 team fight here. Taking a lot of damage from the left side. Dips on back. Copies, though. Denying Xeno. Denying Lex. Copies on fire now. Closing the distance. Double jumping mid-air. Xeno just around the corner now. Shooting through the smoke. Denying with the mine. And through the smoke now. Looking for more. 41-39 for Eternity here. 2 minutes left on the clock. In a tough spot, gets caught out in the open. He just kind of lost in the sauce for a moment there, man. Not looking too good. Still a 1-point game.
Yeah, I mean, even TPing forward in a straight line, not the best idea, especially when Lex is facing you. He's going to hit that shot every time, and even Big Boy kind of chipping into the fray. And Xborg, the lead is small, but Eternity, they keep on fighting. Barrel once again. These are some really clutch kills from the side of Eternity EU, and they just might take Dragon Temple if Xborg's not careful with their next few fights.
Yeah, Eternity EU slowing it way down, looking for the fight here. They've got Barrel on the distance, nailing a couple of shots, doing some damage, but not enough. As Xborg now wrap around the bottom. Looking for more now. How can they keep the pressure up on top? 46-43, Eternity is still in the lead. The shot goes towards Xborg. Xeno finds number 44.
Oh my god, this could be a close game. 48 on the horizon here for Eternity EU.
Absolutely.
Big Boy's won.
Big Boy finds one. Respawn's going to be in the favor of Xborg. Can they get aggressive right now? This is their opportunity.
Barrel?
Eternity find 49. Xborg
Barrel?
find 47.
Oh.
Mid-air. Barrel with the tracking. Beautifully done. Down onto
There
Big
it
Boy.
is.
That's going to be round one. Yup. For Eternity EU, dude. That's tough,
Damn,
man.
Eternity EU. Are they the best Dragon Temple player in the world right now? Or Dragon Temple team right now? That could be the fact. I mean, they haven't lost in Dragon Temple this entire time, and it seems like they have the map down to a T. And for the side of Xborg, it was pretty much an equal fight from them up until Barrel did get that really nice spawn in towards the backside, and he sees a player flying who's on half HP, and you know at this level of EV.io, they're going to hit that shot every time.
Absolutely whipping around, catching that shot. It is no problem for the player. Barrel is someone that we've seen just rack up these AR kills time and time again. So awesome performance in round one, but what a close set. I can't wait to see what game two is going to look like. This is a best of 5. We are in the grand finals. Competitors here today are playing for their share of $4,000. And they're playing for their share of $20,000 over the series, over the course of the Extreme Championship Series, Sneaky. So a lot on the line today, and the pressure is on. But in our first game, Eternity EU take the victory.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it wasn't convincing because, you know, at one point, Xborg did get the tie up, but Eternity EU still did such a great job of just getting back the lead as fast as possible because they don't want Xborg to have the pressure of them having the lead because, just like what we saw from the earlier series, Xborg, when they have the lead, it's really hard to remove them from it. So Eternity EU just keeping things equal here in Dragon Temple. Momentum is going to be a very interesting second map here because it is not that, I want to say it's not that different to Dragon Temple. It's just that, you know, map is just absolutely gigantic. So some of these fights are going to be definitely from distance. Sniper rifle could be a bit of a priority here, but some of these players really can hit from that far away. So let's see. It's just whoever has the better shots from distance here, or these teams, they can play it fast, like how we saw from Egoist earlier, and maybe take another chip off the shoulder of Xborg here.
Absolutely, man. There are so many different ways to play this map. If you can hit those long-range shots, like we're seeing on the stream, then maybe this map is for you. But heading into map 2, man, things get a lot closer. Things get a lot shorter in distance, and it's really who's going to thrive in these AR fights. And Barrel is a player I want to highlight that we might even see be stronger in the second map than the first one. It was great watching the sniper shots in the first, but Barrel really stood out with his AR play, just consistently fragging out throughout the map. So second map, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be close if the first map was any indicator, but here we are. Grand Finals, best of 5, just around the corner. We're 1 game down. You got to get 3 to win the whole thing. So who's it going to be? Still TBD, but man, thank you so much for joining us throughout the day of action. Of course, I'm Jim Basco, that's Sneaky Frog. We want to shout out our sponsors. It brought to you by Brave, organized by Xborg, and of course presented by Community Gaming. So if you're looking to get involved, lots of ways to do it, but ev.io, great place to start. CommunityGaming.io, a great second place. And if you're looking for a browser, Brave, definitely shout outs to them for putting up the pot and, of course, putting up earnings for the next couple of months all the way until December. So shout outs to Brave.
Yeah, big shout outs to Brave. There's definitely going to be an influx of players trying to get their fair share of the prize that they did have within the servers itself. So guys, see you in the deathmatch earned servers, especially in the Singapore ones. I'm going to be definitely a menace. So I'm sorry to the new players. I'm just trying to get that maximum farmage.
Absolutely, and I'll be in the North American servers on the East Coast. So if you're looking to get wrecked, join up, and you might see me in your servers. But of course, I am just joking. As we head on into the Grand Finals, yes.
Quit immediately, please. I need the kills. But yeah,
need the
Eternity EU.
frags.
That early fights once again. It's kind of like their specialty now, though. Like Eternity EU, let's just face roll at the start of the game and see what happens.
Dude, it's a trademark for sure, and they thrive in this close quarters combat. Eternity EU 6-4. Xborg still hanging on, man. They did not give up that lead at all. 3 points just separating these two.
Yeah, they need to mine up that TP, though. They're just allowing every single member from the side of Xborg to just go through it and get a better angle on them. So if they cannot get the mine going and get that bit of safety back in towards their way, then they could be in a bit of trouble. But Eternity EU, they do have the lead.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You know, map control is so important. We talk about mining TPs. We talk about taking 2v1s, waiting for overextensions. Eternity EU putting on a master class right now. Copies, using that verticality, using the cover at the top and towards the bridge to pick up 2 in a row.
Locked.
Make that 3 down onto Big Boy. They are feeling the heat right now, man.
Yeah, especially Copies here. He's just going to keep on going. He's basically on a 4-kill streak at the moment. He could go for 5 if he does allow to do so, but Lukin cleaning up these kills really well. It's, once again, the 1-2 punch coming in here from Eternity, which is Lukin and the homie on the other side here. Copies doing his due diligence as well. Man, this is a deadly combination that Eternity has mustered up with this roster, and it seems like Xborg, they're kind of feeling the brunt of it. Oh my god, Lukin! What?
That was nasty. Great tracking, and of course, that TP will take you far, but if you've played enough of this game, you know exactly the distance they're going to TP, so if you can lock on that sound, you can hit them shots. With the hand cannon now in tow, looking to snipe from a distance. Good damage. Down onto Lex, impulsing to close the distance there, and Barrel picks up 1. Lukin finds a 2nd. Beautifully done.
I think if you're Eternity here, you just want to face roll now. Like, you just want to just get into every single HP bar on your screen and just try to fight it, because at this point, Xborg, they're going to be the ones kind of desperate for any of these kills here. But if you are kind of separated as much as possible, they really can't maximize the amount of punishment that they can have. And this is what I was talking about. If Eternity just separates every single fight here and just forces Xborg as 3 to be in the middle of everything, they could just get run over. And they could get these favorable fights, and they are just doing such a great job of putting Xborg in a very bad position.
Absolutely. Eternity moving and flowing like a river together. Great shotgun kill close range. We're seeing Copies really thrive in this match. You know, the setup from the rest of his teammates is fantastic. Like you mentioned, Lukin and Barrel do a great job drawing the attention, and then you have Copies with the AR wrapping around from any given corner, finding those final frags. Eternity up at 25. They're halfway to the finish line here as Xborg tick up towards 20.
Yeah, Jim is feeling the effects of the universe not being right for a bit, because Xborg's losing. You know, multiverse might be fixing itself, and we're kind of doing it. But Eternity, we're living in reality right now, and reality is Eternity EU is about to hit 30 in this game, while Xborg is still on kills. And there it is. They hit 31. They're almost there. Only 20 kills left. And if they just keep on fighting, they're just going to collect more and more of these. And look at the kill feed, man. It's just flying all over the place. Because Eternity know if they just keep on fighting and they just keep on getting these 1-for-1s, they're going to edge it out at the end.
All right, let's take a listen in with the teams and see what they're talking about.
Left side, Luki, left side, left side. He's alone, kill him. Nice. Behind us.
Yeah.
Pushing from behind.
I can't see him, bro.
Lexi low. Nice, one more behind
more?
us. Yeah.
I don't have bullets.
Low HP, low HP.
I don't have bullets, bro.
Wait.
I'm trying to help you. I'm with you.
They're all there. They're all there. Just show.
Yeah, they're pushing you. I'm gonna come to you
Really?
guys.
Pushing into my shotgun.
Yeah, all here.
I'm coming to you, Luki.
Fuck, it did 0 damage, bro.
Fine. One dead.
One more low, one more very low.
Yeah.
Xeno very low.
I can't find
Somewhere
him.
in smoke.
Dead. One more on me.
Nice,
1
bro.
HP. 1 HP, Lexi. Running
Okay,
mid
bro.
in smoke.
Look
Still
at
in
them.
smoke on mid.
One dead, 2 dead.
Zeno behind you,
Get the fuck
pushing
out.
from behind. I'm coming to you guys.
Nice.
Easy.
Nice, Luki. Maybe TP. Here's TP, maybe.
I think they're tilted, guys, but that's just my guess.
Mid. They're mid.
Big boy 1 HP.
Lexi low as well.
Xeno
Pushing.
low too.
Both
50,
half.
like all of them.
Yeah, they're all hiding in smokes.
One
Zeno's
dead,
picking
one
mid.
more dead. No, big
Yeah,
boy
I'm
1
coming.
HP.
It's okay,
I'm
bro.
coming.
I'm not doing shit, man.
I'm
Just
picking Zeno. Zeno is low. Zeno is 1 HP. He's running away.
chill. Maybe behind
On
him.
me.
He can
Big
heal.
boy dead.
He can heal.
Nice.
Zeno dead, Zeno
I'm
dead,
loading.
Zeno dead. Just chill.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Maybe TP.
All
No.
good, guys.
Get down mid.
Zeno's pushing.
Big boy, half
Behind him.
HP.
Zeno dead.
One behind me somewhere.
Is he low at least? No, he's full. Okay.
No, he's
I'm
full.
gonna try
They're
to
all,
pick left
2 of them
side,
there.
right. Big boy low. Big boy dead.
coming.
Yeah.
2 more there.
Xeno
Zeno
1
is 1
HP.
HP in smoke.
1
yeah.
HP.
Dude, Copies is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, they're having such a good time, man. You love to see it. This is where the best of the best plays happen, right? You're in your flow state, you're with your teammates, and you're just absolutely dominating. Eternity EU 2 points away from this victory in the
Could be
second
game
round.
over. Jeez,
It-
I haven't seen
yeah, man.
Xborg down 2 maps. I don't think I haven't seen them down at all in 0-2 in any of the series I casted with Xborg. So this could be either a first or a second. They did get beat way back when in the history books of EV.io, but Eternity E to get those last 2 kills. Before Xborg, they're kind of having a bit of a streak here, and now it is all of a sudden 43, but Eternity EU, they're trying to calm down to get that final play to close out the game.
That's all you need, man, because you can have too much fun and let it sneak out of your hands, and that would freaking tilt me to no end. Eternity EU doing a good job. They're slowing it down. They know they just need 2 more. Let's focus on up, and let's make it happen. Wrap around the
Big
back.
Boy.
Beautifully done by
Wasn't
Barrel.
the
An
mid.
overextension from Big Boy for sure. And a great shot from Copies, who has been on fire today, ending that game at 21-15. Definitely a team effort from the squad, but Eternity EU, man. Cooking, if they're having fun while they're doing it, Sneaky. That could mean the end for Xborg. They're 2-0 down right now.
Yeah, but once it is going to be map number 3, the Fractal Decider, the Fractal Banger, the real test between these 2 teams, whether or not that they can really close it out. I think Eternity EU, they have a fair shot going into map number 3 on how they're been playing the entire day. So I would say, yeah, Eternity EU, as long as they can keep momentum back in towards their side, they can definitely just get it out. But yeah, I would say not the best game from one of their members. I think that was Bach, but he is just with another name. But definitely Lukin and Copy playing out of their mind. But I know Bach is definitely going to turn up, possibly in a map number 3, or yeah, map number 3 or 4 maybe, because you know Bach, our boy Barrel, now named Barrel, I think he's a late bloomer when it comes to these types of series. So you can see him maybe drop 20 going into the next game. Hopefully, we do see a performance from him, because so far for the side of Eternity EU, in that particular game, it was only like the Copies and Lukin show, and every fight that they want to go for, they were just winning.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, Eternity, in the first map, Barrel, we saw them put on a show. In the second map, definitely a lot more quiet, but it was awesome that you can still trust your teammates to pop off. Both landing more than 20 kills a pop. for the rest of the teammates of Eternity. So, you know, if that's the case, amazing. Eternity can still make it happen. As we head into Game 3, though, things to think about. One thing that's front of mind for me, Eternity is they were having a great time, and then suddenly there was a 5-kill difference between the two teams. I think that was definitely a moment for Eternity where they were like, oh, snap, we need to slow it down real quick. And for Xborg, if I'm them, I have that good of a performance in Game 2, I know that we're just this far away from taking it into Game 4, taking it to Game 5. So Xborg, they got to come in focused, man, because this is still really possible.
Definitely. I mean, possibilities are endless here, especially for Xborg, as map number 3, last time that they played Fractal, they just dominated the enemy team despite the win here by the side of Egoist. Maybe they can do the exact same, considering Fractal is their map and their zone. It's kind of their home turf, and if they can get this map number 3, maybe the series can turn the tides, and maybe we can look for... They can look for a reverse sweep, rather, but
yeah,
2-2. I wouldn't mind a 2-2. You know, map number 5 decider, which is probably going to be another Fractal game. Or no, not another Fractal. It is going to be momentum for map number 5, I think.
Ooh, okay, good. I mean, that's interesting. I love a little switch up there, but, you know, if you're Eternity too, you've got that LAN victory in your mind, right? The last time these two teams met in the grand finals of a LAN tournament, Xborg ended up winning by just 3 or 4 frags. Eternity currently... We're in the grand finals. It's 2023. They're up 2-0 in this series. If they finish it out, that will be the revenge story. You know, they'll be 1-1 in major winnings. We're going to have to see how this rivalry extends. But Xborg, this is their tournament life, man. This is the tournament game. If they can make it happen on Fractal, they can extend that life by just one more map. But it all hangs within these next 50 frags. Who's going to be the victor in this map? And who's going to take it home, Sneaky? The tension's on, the pressure's on, and this is just qualifier 2 out of 3. If they don't make it this time around, they will have one more qualifier to qualify for championship weekend later on in the year. So, lots of pressure, dude.
Lots of pressure. But these teams, not a stranger to pressure, whether it is LAN or online. And at the moment, it seems like both sides are playing. Maybe Eternity better than the other as of now, but we do not know, man. I feel like after what happened in the second map by the tail end of it, I feel like Xborg, they might still look for something really aggressive, especially back into work their way, and it is the classic first-minute joust, the fist fight at the start of the game, and it seems like it's just a 2-2. Big Boy is gonna opt out.
Gonna hop on out of there. It's a good situation to get out of because you know how close these games are. Every frag matters, and it's really tempting at the beginning, like we had talked about, to just send it down. Just keep running it down over and over. Just keep pugging it out. But now you're seeing, finally, both these teams playing tactically. Maybe that's a product of the map, right, Sneaky?
Mm-hmm. I think especially here for Xborg, they need to play this tactically, especially how good Eternity EU is with just taking space in towards their side. And I think they're just going to be sitting on that side of the map the entire time to try and camp the spawn for the sniper, for this deagle, to get them some instant advantage. And we can see already the results of it. Xborg with a 3-kill lead, but Eternity, they just want to keep fist fighting for it.
Ooh, Xborg, man, this is the map. Legends are made, you know, we talk about maps that are iconic for video games. Halo, there's Blood Gulch. In Counter-Strike, there's Dust 2. In EV, I gotta say, Fractal is that map. This is where history is made. And Xborg, they're looking to repeat history this time around. They want a repeat of that 2022 LAN. They don't want to go home just yet. And with a 3-point lead here, Eternity, they're closing that gap. That was disgusting, bro.
Oh, I just saw a magic trick right in front of me. A man just disappeared.
It's David Blaine.
It's Eternity. Oh my lord. That's at least 3 shotgun shells missed. Right in front of my eyes.
What a tough situation. Yeah, and that shotgun is not hard to hit particularly. So you know that's got to be frustrating for the players. Just 2 points separating the squads though. Eternity 1 point away from tying it up, and it's a tied game, just like that. Copies, Barrel, Lucan on fire.
Yeah, they kind of broke the shell open here for the side of Xborg. They can no longer turtle. Now they have to really get these fights guaranteed as much as possible. Xeno, though, with a really nice shot. But the result of this fight, that could give the lead on towards Xborg, and they're going to be playing their side of the map once again, as you do see Lex just retreating on back to this platform and waiting for that spawn. And he already has this sniper, but I think he wants to give it his teammate one, but he loses it.
Oh, what a tough situation. You see the impulse there straight into the mine and straight into the death as Lucan picks up 2 more. Xborg do have the lead, but it's still a 1-point game, Sneaky. This could go either way. And really playing it tactically, of course, you're seeing the smokes deny a lot of these long lines of sight, and this team moving so well together as a duo. Taking back Pride Rock, going back on top of the ground here. Lucan finds 2 in a row, and Eternity EU back in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, 21-19, still a lead against Xborg in Fractal. Doesn't happen often, but now it is a reality here for Eternity. Now they're playing kind of the Turtleish style, wanting to protect this lead as much as possible, but the Xborg kind of rotating slowly in towards the left side, and Big Boy wanted to go first, but it's a 1-for-1, but there it is.
Beautifully done by Big Boy. This is the Big Boy that we know and love. Legendary status. That's 3 in a row. And just like that, he's going to dip back towards his team and instead goes straight into Lucan and Barrel, who take back the lead and blow it on up. 3 points in the lead for Eternity EU here, just like that. Right after Big Boy's massive tear. Just how quickly things can flip on its head, man.
Yep. Oh, no, Eternity. They're already past the halfway point at this point, but Xborg not too far behind. This is definitely still a fightable game as we do reach the halfway point of the kills and the time of the game itself. I feel like this is going to be a very long one, but Eternity, man, these back and forths really are just pretty equal. None of these teams are breaking away by too much, but Lucan once again being such a problem here for Xborg, getting those cleanups after that initial damage by his team.
Absolutely, and you know, I gotta say, I believe it's the meta shift here that is maybe making this harder for Xborg. You know, previously we would see them annihilate with that hand cannon and sniper and just keep that distance like you talk about, right? EU was notorious for being slow, notorious for going to time. These games look completely different, and the more frenetic they get, the better Eternity looks. And just like that, off the back, Lucan and Barrel pick up 2 in a row and expand that lead for the Eternity EU side.
Yeah, I love the comparison. They can think about is Asian teams, as soon as they saw a person get hit by a single bullet, they were like, yeah, let's jump in, let's go.
Right?
We gotta go in.
Shouting in Tagalog, you know what I mean? Like.
Oh yeah, in Tagalog we will call that, tara, pasok na, nandun na, load na sila lahat, oh my god. There it is.
I love that, man.
I think that's probably
so
what the
funny.
comms was like. I think that's probably what the comms was like here for the Egoist. Lucan! Oh my god, he almost got the decapitation, but Copies is gonna get the cleanup instead.
Honestly, beautiful stuff for Eternity, up at 6 points now. And the mental fortitude for these guys has to be insane, because there were multiple times where Xborg closes the lead, takes it back, that Eternity refused to let go. They are like a crocodile, man, latched onto their prey, just now entering into the death rolls. Eternity up at 40. 10 frags remain from Eternity, making it into our grand finals and taking it all the way. Let's go ahead and take a listen on in.
Ali, cross Ali. I'm holding.
Lucan dead.
Barrel dead. He came back to life. He's on Ali still. It's fine. He's picking you with sniper from Ali. Picking you with sniper. Picking you with sniper.
Sniper. He killed me. He killed me.
From behind. From
Too small.
behind.
Too small.
Dead Barrel. I'm waiting. Look, I'm dead. Damn, he copies. I need help on copies. Okay, they're both, and they're full. Be careful. They have one guy coming.
You killed them all. Killed them all. Nice job, Vic.
I'm with you.
3 kills. 3 kills.
I'm playing small cube. Small cube, yeah, man.
Lucan tagged up.
Just dive in. I'm flanking them.
They're lit.
No, that's not a jump in. No.
Dead.
Nice kills. Alright, play back to the big cube. Nice, come to big cube. Come to big cube.
Go back, big boy.
Don't peek alley.
I will take the sniper. I wanna pick from small cube. Let's go small cube.
I got sniped. Watch out. Run.
Copies minus 75 as well as that. Good job, big boy. It's fine. You can kill copies as well. It's fine. It's not bad. Just wait, Zeno.
Lucan half.
Lucan half. I'm diving in.
Damn, you can feel the tension
So
in the
close.
comms, man.
Absolutely, it's so tense. And I love watching
wait a
Eternity
minute.
at 49 here.
Oh, there
There
it
is, man. Eternity.
Eternity
Shut it
on
down.
top. GG. Shout out Brave. Thank you, bro.
I can't believe it. 3-0 right there. Eternity not dropping a single map throughout the entire day, throughout the entire bracket, up against the best of the best in EVIO competition, getting revenge for the LAN loss. 2023 Eternity EU are your tournament champions.
Damn, Eternity EU, could this be a new era? Eyes and Xborg long have been dominating EV.io, but now there is challengers backing towards their side. Copies and Lukin played out of their mind this week. And Bockhauser, you know, the fan favorite, Mr. Bockhauser, also known as Barrel. He could be, I think I'm going to probably see in the chat, oh my god, he's the new GOAT and everything. But is the hype going to be real? We are going to see it in that main tournament, which I'm more excited about because I feel like this rivalry is not going to be over anytime soon, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. With a team like Eternity EU cooking the way they did, you know, it was such a privilege to be able to listen in on these players, especially when we were on board with the Xborg team there right towards the end. We were there for them, bringing it back, tying it up at 45-45, and then realizing they overextended, realizing the game was over.
That last part was hard to watch.
It was heartbreaking, bro. It was heartbreaking.
Because I was like, Lex, you better call for the boys to just stay at that high platform and you can peek small cube. But I think Eternity EU kind of read that they want small cube at that very same moment. So I would say it's a really good call from the side of Eternity. Just like, all right, let's just jump in to EU and everything. But there it is, Lukin, the MVP of today's tournament and today's series. I in my opinion, it is him who is the MVP of the entire tournament, because every time we see Lukin in the server, he is dropping some heat with that machine gun.
Absolutely, man. And I gotta say, I love the meta shift. The game is in a great place right now where it awards people for playing together as a team and finishing out those frags. Not just individual mechanical skill, which we saw really highlight in many of the tournaments prior. This was a head and shoulders performance from Eternity EU. They styled on Xborg. And with a 3-0 like that, let me remind you, in the last LAN that these two teams competed at, it was 2-2, with the final game being a difference of 4 frags. This was a 3-0, bro. That is going in the history books. And of course, like you said, this is just a qualifier. We're not even in the main tournament yet, so the storylines will continue, Sneaky.
I kind of want to see Eternity EU play against like the EU roster itself. I need to see XCS back in the roster and then having a 3v3 with Eternity EU, because I feel like that's going to be the real test here for Eternity.
Definitely.
Once that kid comes back from school, which is very funny to say. Once that kid comes back from school.
Yeah, right? Once he's done.
Once he comes back from school, he is going to be fragging out of his mind, that's for sure. We do miss his hand cannon and laser rifle and everything shenanigans. He is the player that can really turn the tides here for Xborg if he does come back. We miss you, buddy. But for now, Xborg is going to take the L with the 3-0. And I think the community would say is pretty happy about that. You know, there's going to be a bit of a back and forth now at the top of the food chain.
Absolutely, and hopefully this back and forth continues, man. Meta's in a good place, the game's in a great place. It runs fantastically on the Brave browser. Locked 240 frames, custom crosshairs, custom skins. You earn money while you're playing. There doesn't seem to be a reason to not get on. EV.io, brought to you by Brave, organized by Xborg, and of course presented by Community Gaming. So, final standings here. We have Eternity EU 3-0 at first, Xborg EU number 2, and in third place, it looks like we had Hotheads with their 3-0 over Egoist, who come in our fourth place today.
Nice, congratulations to them. This is what I'm saying, man. I think even if that was like the 3rd to 4th place match, I bet that was still a really good game considering how good both of these teams are. So yeah, hopefully we do see them next week. Maybe vie now for the grand finals, but Xborg, they're gonna be back with revenge. Eternity EU, they have the now, but can they keep it on their heads in the tournament? I'm so excited for it, man, honestly.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. Of course, if you are watching, you're tuning in right now, you did miss a lot of the action, but the VODs will be available. And if you're looking for more information, head on over to ev.io. You can play anywhere that you can access your browser. But shoutouts to Brave for putting up the pot for this event. And for $20,000 for EVIO alone, across the entire Extreme Championship Series, there is plenty of money to be made, plenty of competition to be had. So if you're looking to get involved, head on over to communitygaming.io today and make sure you get involved. But, Sneaky, that was an awesome day of EV.io competition. We just wrapped the grand finals, and we'll be back next month with the next qualifier, and of course later in the year with the Extreme Championship Series. What a day for sure, but I'm Jambasco, that's Sneaky Frogs. It's been an awesome time, and in the Twitch chat, thank you for everyone for joining us on this adventure, and we will see you guys next time.
Oh, whoa,
whoa. Yo, let's chill out. We're kind of pugging this, like. One longer towards TP.
Nate TP, still TP.
You wanna push them?
I
There's a special on mid, I'm getting
Okay, I'm coming to you, wait.
I'm gonna peek. I'm picking.
In smoke. Next TP.
Okay, did anyone? One dead.
One more on top.
Dead.
Nice.
They're big ram now.
TP.
Low with it.
Nice. On ramp. On big ramp. One slow, one's 1 HP.
I saw.
I'm pushing in. You're dead. Two more there.
Oh my god, I don't have bullets, man. I'm so retarded.
In smoke.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to kill him.
One mid behind me.
Okay, he's healing. One low. One more on...
I mean, Team rather tried hiding around that smoke, but they were just not keen enough. Copies, better on the shot, better in the range with Lucan to help him out. Eternity are finally cooking here. This is the Eternity that we saw in the first map, and they are in their final form here. 43-30, a very dominant lead over Team.
Yeah, I mean, for Team right now, they just gotta play it like they're 1v3 in Apex Legends. Like, you just gotta back up, kill, back up, kill, back up, kill, because you cannot afford any of these deaths, but it's so hard because the SMGs are just doing so much damage here for Barrel, and I think it might just be GG. It is a tough call, to say the least, here for Team, because you only have 4 kills to work with, not much leeway, and that might be over as soon as the last kill does come around after this one.
Let's see how it ends up here. Camping the TP is always a good strategy, denying a lot of movement on the map, but with 1 frag remaining, they're looking to find it. Ooh, as Copies.
I killed them. I killed 2. Let's go. Easy. Griddle, you're going crazy, man. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I picked into 2 people instead, right? Go, shooter. Easy for you.
Easy, bro.
Behind.
That was lag, man. Vara, what the fuck? We're aim train. Yes. Praise gaming. I just picked into 3 people. Shooter.
God.
You can do it, man. Have to believe in yourself.
Oh, bro, I don't have bullets, brother.
I got it like 90 through the smoke.
Oh, that was the best listening in my life. You can tell Eternity are just hanging out. They're having a good time. Yeah. And I think that's key too. If you can play at such a high level and just be vibing, boom, you're gonna win. You know what I mean? These guys, ice in their veins, they're just having a good time. You love to see it. Hotheads, they're not too far behind. Like, yes, 14 frags is a lot. I've seen crazier things happen, but Eternity, dude, what? That was hilarious, man.
Yeah. Definitely. You know, even using the soundboard, recent Discord edition actually. So
It is?
definitely just having fun. Yeah, you have a soundboard now within Discord.
In
Don't use
Discord,
it,
built
though.
in?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
So
it's
guys, it's over. Anyone who bought Discord Nitro, it's over. They have the power now. But 40-22 though, Eternity EU. I think they're just gonna sweep up this game. You know.
Yeah.
And, just finish it out.
They're doing such a good job, and you can tell they're just their comms are cool and collected. Even if they are getting run down by someone behind, they're just hanging out. They trust each other's aims.
He gets it.
Oh yeah, you hate to see it, but you love to be the one. That...
Sniper, Mid.
Mid, channel.
Low.
Dead.
Nice.
Lexa dead. Oh, Lexa dead, yeah.
Tied.
Big boy low.
Mid. Sa baba.
Gilid niyo yung iba.
8.
Nasa baba, baba.
Mid dalawa. Big boy low. Dalawa, magkasama.
Oh, big boy low par. Big boy low.
Hindi ko na-trade. Ayun, nice.
My bad.
Nasa TP lang. Fuck, I forgot. Okay, chill.
Wait, wag mag-TP, may mines. Agi.
Oh, nag-impulse. Pushing.
Impulse patas, hindi, impulse patas sa TP. Taas ng TP.
Okay.
And boba, dalawa. Tatlo, boba, low.
Big boy low.
One, two, red. Nice. Last one. Wait, low ako.
Na siya, heal.
Low.
Match, right? They are, trying to catch as much of what Xborg is doing, but what I wish I saw a little bit more out of from Egoist is them executing their own strategy, and it seems like they're finally going on the offensive now. Egoist get a couple, but then get returned on very quickly by Xborg. Big Boy just going on a tear there. As we're watching Lex now on board with him, taking us all the way to the top. They've got the timings on the hand cannons. They know what's going on. They've achieved their flow. An 11-point lead here is going to be pretty hard to overcome for Egoist. But for a long time, Sneaky, they held on to that game, and we're keeping it a 1 or 2 point match.
Yeah, I mean, that breakaway really is painful here for the side of Egoist, because as soon as Xborg breaks away the map, I think it's really hard for them.
He killed all of us, amazing. Just reset. Go middle now. Spawn in, go middle. He has SMG, you need to keep your distance. Waiting for you guys middle. Phone is dead, he came back to life. They're banana.
Got him.
Monster there as well, both of them. Big boy, play with your teammate.
Mashiba. Nice. Smoke down, I'm hiding.
I'm waiting for you guys in the middle.
You're safe.
Yep, moving towards you.
Everyone is on me. I'm running.
Come castle.
One guy alone on TP, I will come for TP. I'm with you guys.
One dead.
Nice.
Phone's rising. He's in the sky half.
Fun is dead. Mashiba's dead. Wow.
Nice job. I'm on TP.
Hold the TP, guys. Throw some stickies, hold it down.
Sniper's up mid.
I'm lagging.
Mashiba, all the damage is getting refunded.
I took the sniper, they don't have it. Oh, I killed him and he came back to life.
Every time.
Yep. I'm pushing from behind.
Dude, this is so non-competitive.
I'm dead, he came back to life. All three overhang. Okay guys, listen, let's wake up. Let's hold banana together, because Moshiba's pushing alone and we get a kill.
Okay.
I killed him, now I'm hiding. Like, let's play this properly.
I'm moving through alley.
Yeah, just don't fight as much as possible, just hide, play like a pussy.
Dude, I'm winning the trades by a mile on these ones.
We just don't need to take them, that's the truth. Nice, good job. I'm mining. I'm hiding, coming. Just play with us.
Yep.
Nice. I'm with you now.
There it is. Zeno being a bit greedy, but to play with 200, sometimes to play with 50, and it seems like Xborg are doing a stellar job despite, playing on high ping. They're still hitting their shots. They're still playing these situations really well.
Beautifully done. Sliding in, over-committing. Xborg taking advantage, just playing the map so well, taking their doubles whenever they can, capitalizing on Maushiba. Yet again, Zeno finds two back-to-back. Fawn responds.
Crazy.
Zeno, mid-air, beautiful tracking, gets the kill as a fadeaway. Beautifully done, dude.
Yeah, Xeno's going crazy. I think at this point, he doesn't care if he dies in that situation. He's already damaged. He's already just making sure that his team can get some cleanup going. But they really want to contain this TP. I think this main TP does come out on the other side of the map, the exact opposite. So they want to keep control so they can get some movement going. But Fawn can't underestimate a man with it.
Slowing it down, man. They should, at this point, take their time. And it's still a 1-point game. 2 minutes left on the clock. Big boy going down. It is tied on up. Yet again, 1 minute 55 left on the clock and 11 frags needed for both teams here. I don't know how this is going to pan out, man, but Egoist for both teams here. I don't know how this is going to pan out, man, but Egoist, they are fighting for their tournament lives right now, man.
Yep. And the Xeno's gonna go in. He sees that one person's low. Great damage here from Big Boy. That means that's gonna be a jump in, but Fawn, he can clutch this.
Oh, with a wraparound. Fawn, beautifully done. Lex trying to break his ankles. Fawn comes out on top. Maushiba gets the second. Xeno.
No.
Oh, the trade is there. Xborg still leading by one more. 1 minute, 20 seconds left on the clock. It's tied back up.
Ooh,
Fawn, beautifully done. On to Lex. Egoist take the lead.
He needs to reset. Oh, really good shot. Oh, no, Egoist. 1 second.
Way.
Wait a minute.
Beautifully done. 46-44 for Egoist right now. A minute left on the clock. Lex healing back up, grabbing around the right side, checks his back. Xeno's there to help him out. Xeno watching the bottom. Big boy coordinates for the frag. 47-46, 48 for Egoist.
Damn. And already at the start of the game, just an exchange from both sides, just fist fighting at the start of this one. And Big Boy does get the joust successfully and even get a extra one. So that's a 2-point lead and 3-point lead at the start of the game here for Xborg. And they're going to look for those weapons or even just deny those special weapons from the side of Egoist because they do not want the deagle on the hands of anyone in this one. Oh!
Whew, Fawn!
Talking about, man.
Yeah. Oh, that is such a tough fight to watch. That was an overextension from everybody on Egoist almost. And Xborg just clean it up, bust it open, take the lead, 11-3. Tough, man. What a tough situation. Xborg, fantastic on this map. This is where we saw them rise to fame. You know, all of those series on this pink map. So many matches played from the Xborg EU squad. So many championships taken right here on this sacred ground. And Egoist experiencing that in real time, man. They're about to get styled on by Lex as he continues his reign of terror.
The heck?
50, like all of them.
Yeah, they're all hiding in smokes.
One
Zen
dead,
picking
one
me.
more dead. No, big
Yeah,
boy,
I'm
1
coming.
HP.
It's okay, bro. I'm not doing shit, man.
I'm
Just
picking Zeno. Zeno is low. Zeno is 1 HP. He's running away.
maybe behind him.
On me.
He can
Big
heal.
Boy dead.
He can heal.
Nice.
Zeno dead, Zeno
I'm
dead,
loading.
Zeno dead. Just chill.
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Maybe TP.
All good, guys.
He's down mid.
Zeno's pushing.
Big Boy, half
Behind him.
HP.
Zeno dead.
One behind me somewhere.
Is he low at least? No, he's full. Okay.
No, he's full.
I'm gonna try
They're
to
all,
pick left
two of them
side,
there.
guys. Big Boy low. Big Boy dead.
coming.
Yeah.
Two more there.
Still
Zeno
1
is 1 HP in smoke.
1
yeah.
HP.
Towards the left side, and Big Boy wanted to go first, but it's a 1-for-1, but there it is.
Beautifully done by Big Boy. This is the Big Boy that we know and love. Legendary status. That's 3 in a row. And just like that, he's going to dip back towards his team and instead go straight into Lucan and Barrel, who take back the lead and blow it on up. 3 points in the lead for Eternity EU here, just like that. Right after Big Boy's massive tear. Just how quickly things can flip on its head, man.
Yep. Oh, no, Eternity. They're already past the halfway point at this point, but Xborg not too far behind. This is definitely still a fightable game as we do reach the halfway point of the kills and the time of the game itself. I feel like this is going to be a very long one, but Eternity, man, these back and forths really are just pretty equal. None of these teams are breaking away by too much, but Lucan once again being such a problem here for
Ali, cross Ali. I'm holding.
Looking dead.
Barrel dead. He came back to life. He's on Ali still. It's fine. He's picking you with sniper from Ali. Picking you with sniper. Picking you with sniper.
Sniper. He killed me.
From behind.
Too small,
Big
too
boy.
small.
Dead Barrel. I'm waiting. Look on dead. Amy, copies. I need help on copies. Okay, they're both, and they're full. Be careful. They have one guy coming.
You killed them all. Killed them all. Nice job. Nice job, Big.
I move you.
Three kills. Three kills. Three kills.
I'm playing small cube. Small TP, I mean.
Lucan tagged up.
Just dive in. I'm flanking them.
They're lit.
No, that's not.
We had a dream 5 years ago, and look what happened.
Raised $52 million from 24,000 individuals from the four corners of the world. Launched the first crypto app to educate the world. Released the Xborg app, serving 700,000 community members. The CHSB token hits unicorn status with $1.4 billion market cap. Swissborg ranks top 5 DeFi players in the world. All of this thanks to you, the best community in the world.
If you want to take part in the next 5 years, hop on.
The DeFi path is not an easy one. You will face many challenges and risks. So you'll need the right tools. With Swissborg Earn, ease your path to the rewards you deserve. No effort, no worries. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy earning on your crypto. Swissborg Earn. Swissborg Earn.
We had a dream 5 years ago, and look what happened.
Raised $52 million from 24,000 individuals from the four corners of the world. Launched the first crypto app to educate the world. Released the Swissborg app, serving 700,000 community members. The CHSB token hits unicorn status with $1.4 billion market cap. Swissborg ranks top 5 DeFi players in the world. All of this thanks to you, the best community in the world.
If you want to take part in the next 5 years, hop on.
The DeFi path is not an easy one. You will face many challenges and risks. So you'll need the right tools. With Swissborg Earn, ease your path to the rewards you deserve. No effort, no worries. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy earning on your crypto. Swissborg Earn. Swissborg Earn.